every person has an energy that is unmistakably theirs. It's the quality people remember, the feeling that they leave behind, and the reason certain doors naturally open. Today we're discovering your signature energy. Thank you for joining. This is Felicia Nutrice Tarot. My name is Felicia, and we're back with another pick a card. Today is what is your signature energy, friend? And have you guys missed me? I've been in a pleasure zone for real. And so I've kind of just like wanted some time away as per usual, but we're back in business, and we have some instructions, lol, and we have like some real legitimate work to do. Like, we're about to reach for the next case on our docket, and this next one involves Jeff Bezos and Elon Musk. I'm not sure if they're in court, but I did see some news about them recently, so we're going to dive into those frontier models, lol, soon. Okay, but let's get into today's pick card reading. Group 1, you are going to meet me at X with strength. Group 2, you're going to be Queen Latifah with respect. Group 3, you are Erykah Badu with spirituality. And Group 4, you are Kelly 47 with mystery. And please, I hate that I did this, but these cards are a little bit damaged. I spilled a bottle of Chan Chanel on these cards when I was moving one day, and it has not been, they smell really good, lol, but they have not been the same. So let's get into it, you guys. Without further ado, let's hop into your selection. Hi, Group 1. You chose Mia X Strength. What is your signature energy? What is your signature energies? Group 1. Let's hop into today's pick a card. Welcome back to Felicia Nutrice Tarot. My name is Felicia, if you do not know me. But let's hop in, friends, and see what could be possibly going on for you during this time. And what's your signature? Not during this time, but what's your signature? And what is it like to be in contact with you? I think that it's amazing to have, to be a part of your life, okay? I think that some of you guys, I'm just getting this off the dome. Some of you guys have this, your signature, your hair is your signature. Some of you, if you change your hair a lot, that could be a big part of your signature. I also feel like if you wear pink a lot, that's like your signature color. I also feel like you guys, your signature could be something. I'm hearing your mouth. Your mouth is your signature, and people really, really like your mouth. So some of you guys have really full lips, or you have a nice, nice signature smile, a nice distinctive smile. You guys have a really, really strong head, and I'm hearing that some of you guys, your signature, although this is so funny, some of you guys have a signature of turning people on just with your head. Some of you guys, you don't need like the body. Some of y'all, you were bagged at your face card. Like, someone guaranteed to love you when you didn't have hair, or love you when you didn't have like, some of you guys didn't have hair or something like that, or they loved you just before you went on a weight loss transformation, or they loved you, they bagged you on your face card, okay? Your signature is, some of you guys, you are known for your handwriting, or something stylized in a with a digital representation. Maybe this is even a logo, a mark, a name, something where it proves your identity, maybe even a trademark. You guys, your signature involves like excuse me, your signature could involve something legal, financial, or personal intent documents. Like these could literally be like your signature could literally be trademarked. Okay. Some of you guys, your signature for a bang or the way that you style your hair. Some of y'all, you know, somebody was saying that you needed a bang. Somebody said that you needed a bang or something like that, but then, you know, maybe they didn't see, you know, they didn't know how you look without the bang or without a hat. You know, some of them, you know, they didn't know. You know, some of them you were bagged because of your face card. Like you were bagged before. You were bagged when you had a bald head, or you were bagged. You know, they gave you that D without needing to know, you know, the whole situation or something like that. Or they didn't need, you know, something where you tick that box for somebody, you know, or something where they may have made a legal or financial agreement with you because of your head. So somebody said that you might have needed, you can see how she's wearing this bang. Someone said that you needed a bang. Some of y'all have like these fluffy bangs or like long bangs that you can move to the side, and I definitely think that you should like move your bangs to the side. Some of your name might be Madeline or Maddie. Some of you guys could be from California or live in the West Coast. Some of you guys, you're known for your hair or something like that. Maybe you have really long natural hair, but for others, you can be known for wearing a lot of different wigs and hairstyles. And so if someone said that you needed a bang, you definitely don't need a bang, friend, because they didn't see you in 200 different wigs, and you don't need a bang. So that's just another delusion that they made up in their head, okay? To, you know, to ease their, you know, their discomfort about your face card. LOL. Okay. Your signature, you're definitely known for being successful. You have a signature of being a success. Like, period, point blank. There's no debates about it, right? Successful in business, successful, you know, with something where you had to prove your identity or something like that. Some of you guys, you're known for proving your identity, or you're known for setting your identity distinctly apart. Especially if you guys have like a digital representation of something, like of your signature, or something handwritten, stylized. Some of you might make digital art, and maybe you put like your stamp on it a lot and stuff like that. And I think that you just, you know, you do that because you are successful. Like having that signature, having a trademark, having watermarks, that means that like you are not playing about receiving a benefit. It's like, I don't think that you're doing it for a selfish and intense desire or for your own selfish purposes. I think that you truly do it because you want to protect the benefit of something from people who keep trying to like knock off your signature in a certain type of way. LOL. Interesting energy. Let's get more. Let's see. What is your signature energy? Group. I don't even know what kind of card I'm gonna get. What's your signature energy, group? Group 1. Okay, what's your signature energy? Some of you guys, especially if you're at this North Node energy, some of you guys have dealt with a lot of mean girls. And I think that sometimes, this could go either way. Some of you guys have been bullied by people. But for others, you were known for breaking away from a group of mean girls, or you were known for being at the North Node while this mean girl group is at the South Node or something like that. I also feel like this signature energy that you have, like, you do not have to worry about something, is what I'm hearing. Like, there's something was protected legally for you. You're known for having some type of legal, financial, or personal document that marks your name. Okay, so anything that people, it's like, you know, if people try to bite you, bite me. If you try me, I don't give a fuck. Like something where you really, like, your signature energy is just like, I don't give a fuck, because I was strong enough to prove my identity and like have this agreement, like to protect my identity or something like that. Like there's an agreement, there's like personal documents where like they might try to come around and bite you, or they try to knock off your home a lot, but then you like they will like, it won't matter because people will know that they're not the true benefit when they see these proofs of documents or something like that. Like something. Group 1. What's your signature energy? This is actually a hilarious group. So you're known for not having to worry about anything because you have your intimacy and your pleasure and your name and what's stylized, your digital representations are all protected. That's what I'm hearing. All legalized, all financial agreements, all sold up, friends. I also feel like you're known for being very pleasurable. Like I said, some of you guys were bagged at your face card. You didn't need no bang. You didn't need no hair on top of your head. Some of you, they literally promised it to you in the beginning, is what I'm hearing. Okay, they promised something to you in the very beginning. Someone could have promised you something in the very beginning, okay? Or they made a legal or financial agreement with you, gave you a contract very quick or something like that, something where you were known for bagging somebody up because you were considered to be the most pleasurable, okay? So that's definitely your signature energy. Your signature energy makes people very comfortable. So if you think that you're like, some of you guys might have social anxiety or something like that, or if you feel like you get clammy, don't worry about anything because you are very strong enough to be successful. So you don't have to worry about your intimate relationships not being successful. I don't know why I'm getting this, but it just feels like this is when this parlor energy comes out, I think about it could be a one-on-one personal relationship that you have with someone. I also feel that the parlor is very closely related to the heart energy, and some of you guys some of you guys have roaches, is what I'm hearing. Some of you guys have roaches, and if you live in like a rural area or even suburban areas, you might come in contact with a lot of bugs inside your house, okay? And they see that that does not upset your pleasure, okay? I also feel like some of you guys, you're known for winning something, okay? You're known for winning as the most pleasure or the most intimate with someone or something. So your signature energy is that you don't really have to worry about someone stealing your intimacy, or you don't have to worry about someone comparing their intimacy to you, because they really just can't compare to you. It's like something where it's guaranteed a success, and I think I don't know what happens that guarantees it. It could literally be that this intimacy or this pleasure was protected by a legal or financial document or some binding contracts, where it feels like something where you're already it could also be like something where you're already a success, you're already such a huge benefit, and so you don't have to worry about anything because it already feels like you already won. Like your signature energy is like you're already won, okay? Okay, group 1, what is your signature energy? Your signature energy is you have this energy of being pleasurable. So if you're worried about clamming up or making others uncomfortable or projecting your own social anxieties, I think that you're really a diamond to people. You're really a star to people. And I think that could be really just like a temporary discomfort or temporary instability, because nobody ever will compare to this intimacy or this pleasure that they find with you, or that you have. Like this, they don't have the most, you're the most benefit, you're the highest ideal. Even if this isn't about a specific relationship, I do think that this could be particularly about your home, your pleasure, your sanctuary. You're known for having a sanctuary. You're known for being successful at something, okay? They see you as being very comfortable and pleasurable, that you have leisure. Your signature energy is leisure, okay? I think that you're in a very, I don't want to say that everything's sewed up or intact. I do think that you are in a careful position. I think that you are at the North Node, and I do think that you're known for being, some of you guys, you promote your North Node energy. Maybe you're very spiritual, maybe you're really into astrology. That could be your signature energy. But because of the benefit that you offer, it's not so much as them attaching onto this astrological term of the North Node, but more of them saying, you've already been such a benefit. This is already, you're already successful. So we know that you have this, we know that you were very careful to get here, and you will continue to be careful, but you can kind of like let your hair down a little bit. You can kind of relax a little bit. You can kind of, they see that now you're in this party energy, or you're in this celebratory energy, or you're in this comfort. Maybe you're even feeling nostalgic. Okay, group 1, what is your signature energy? Oh, that card wanted to show itself to me. I definitely think you have a signature energy of traveling, and that's why this, it kind of like, that is kind of where I was going with, especially right next to this parlor. It feels like some of you might have the signature energy of being homeless or traveling a lot, and then when they see you at home, or in a domestic or sacred place, they know that it means that it's a big deal. They know that that's a part of your signature. When they see you in a space, they know that that place represents, it's a big deal. Okay. And so some of you, if you're in a home with someone, this person, you do not have to worry about them. I'm hearing, try to have some faith. I know that some of you guys have had some negative experiences, and you learn to be very, very careful, especially because you're on these different journeys, or you're traveling a lot. Some of you guys, you're known for having a nice body as well, is what I'm hearing. Like, you're known for having a nice rack, or having a nice bottom, and that makes you very pleasurable. They say that you have the best body, or you have the best face card. They say that you're the most pleasurable. You're known for being the best, or you're known for being the most benefit. It's literally not even about how you look. It's more about how comfortable you make people feel. It's, you're not the one that clams up. You're the one that allows and embraces. And if there is like that, things do get awkward or tense, I think that is literally just your own personal pessimisms, or triggers from the past, where you learn to be careful, okay, on your journeys, especially if you guys travel a lot as women, or your girl bosses, girl CEOs. That's very dangerous. Okay, so let's continue, group 1. What is like your signature? What is your signature energy? I think that some of you guys may wonder, especially if you're in a relationship, if this is regarding a romantic relationship, you're like, oh my God, I wonder when they're gonna fuck up. I'm wondering when this is gonna end. I'm hearing, please have faith in your relationships, friends. You guys are at the North Node, and this is a time of manifesting healthy relationships. And we have predicted this at Felicia Trees Tarot, so I don't want you guys to despair about these different conflicts that go on in the environment. I just think that you need to stay strong through any instability, because it's only temporary. Okay, and then you guys are right back, right? And I think that I think that something that could make you feel unstable is when you travel somewhere else. Okay, if you leave your home, have faith that your partner comes back home, and I think that they try to have faith that you come back too. It's like both of you guys can contribute to these feelings of instability. If this is like about a romantic relationship, do not worry about them when you are away, or when they go on your different journeys. Know that nobody will compare to this intimacy. Okay, and so have faith in them, and now is not the time to be worrying about that. Now is the time to, I'm hearing there will be, like, something is guaranteed, right? Especially if they have you, they've already sent their letters of intent, so I think that you should definitely try to have some faith in your relationships, because they sent you those contracts because they know that you result in the most pleasure. Okay, Sweet surrender. Yeah, I think that this intimacy or this parlor energy could be very triggering. Your signature energy could be, you know, surrendering or falling in love. Something where you may, like, this energy is like surrendering to a intimacy because it's already been so successful. Or you don't have, it's like something where you don't have to really worry or do anything because you're already successful, or you were already protected, or you're already successful. You know what I'm saying? So if that makes sense, friends, hopefully I'm not repeating myself, but I had to fix something really quick and I multitask doing it. LOL. So I'm saying do not worry about taking journeys away from your parlor, or away from your home, or away from your one-on-one relationship. That's very triggering. A lot of you guys, some of you, you're worrying if something might be a success or not, and I'm hearing there will be. Okay, you don't have to worry about it. Have faith in it. Is what I'm hearing. Okay. And I know you've had to be strong before, or you've been very careful because of vulnerable situations before, especially intimacies that broke down. They were not the benefit, okay, or they may have just been looking for what they can get. Okay, we have the goddess energy. Okay, so yeah, that kind of goes hand in hand with this energy. I think that it came out in the shadow aspect, and I think that some of you guys, there have been, I literally just put these rocks down and I don't even know how. I literally cleaned the table and like it's still here. Some of you guys, your signature energy is that there's a signature energy around your goddess form. I think that there is a situation that could be triggering, okay, because some of you guys could be really intimate with people, and then that's like an exploitation of the female nature and form. I think that you guys definitely have a signature of people playing themselves. It's like, I think that they kind of play themselves, because what it sounds like happens is that you're at this north node and it's like a guarantee, like you're guaranteed a success. So I think that you come to a lot of these one-on-one relationships, maybe you don't bring your stylized signature, you don't bring the brand, you don't bring your accolades and successes. Maybe you come to the situation just in a one-on-one dynamic, and I think that you try to have faith in a situation. And I think that because this is like, I think that sometimes, things can be so, people can mirror or project whatever image that serves them in that given moment when you are in a one-on-one situation, right? And I think that you come into the situation and maybe you have rules and limitations on how you engage for your own self-protection, because I think that you move very carefully, because some of you guys have been on a lot of different journeys, or you've had to adapt and change a lot because these people exploit your female form and nature in this one-on-one intimacy that they have with you. Okay, some of them, I don't want to say that they don't see the benefit, but maybe something about them struggles to see the value, or struggles to see the struggles to see the vision, or they struggle to see what role that you play in their life and what role they play in your life. It could be a lot of different reasons why this could lead to exploitation. Some of them, they just want to use you for sex, right? They just think that you're meant for sex, especially I think that some of them, they can come around and they could project that you're not a success, right? And it's like you come around very strong and very successful, and it's like guaranteed, like you're already successful, or it's guaranteed a success from a contract that you have. And I think that you come around them, you're very strong, But it's something where they project onto your form. Maybe they project onto your curvy body. They don't think that curvy bodies can be successful on their own. They don't think that they just want, especially a lot of curvy women. I was watching this video. It was like, the bigger your butt, the bigger the bum, or something like that. And I just think that that could be totally true for him. I think that a part of them, they might want to have that big butt for sex, or some kind of like, some kind of, I don't want to say exploitive reason, but it could lead to them exploiting you, because they could be attracted to you for sex, but they could be lying about their intentions, or they could be hiding their non-committal energy, or their flighty energy, right? Some of them are really, they might want to have it behind closed doors, but they don't want to, walk out and about with it and stuff like that, because your body could get a lot of attention, is what I'm hearing. Okay, yeah, instability. Okay, what was I saying earlier about that? Instability. There's this intimacy. I think that a part of it is temporary instability. I do think a part of it is temporary. Because I think that you come around as a deluxe. Okay, you're deluxe packaging with this parlor energy. But something about the intimacy grows unstable, and it leads to them, I don't know if they're intentionally trying to exploit your nature and form, but I think that when you go along with, something, okay, maybe you're so used to taking instructions, and, they can see you as very submissive, or they see your body type as something, I don't want to say that it's not, not inferior in the fact that that it's not nice looking, but inferior in the fact that they feel like it's not capable of doing work, or it's not, your form gets too much attention, or it's only used for sex, right? I also think that you have been on these journeys a lot, and so a lot of you might travel a lot, so you have a keen awareness of your, like, you can have a lot of keen awareness of your environment, and they just don't expect you to have this sharp, keen observation. Like, they don't think that you can protect your own home. And a lot of you guys, they try to exploit you. Some of you guys may have been robbed, or you may have been pickpocketed, or people could have broken entering, or some of you guys have learned lessons from having your femininity undermined. And what I mean by femininity undermined is kind of like your nature to receive something, or your nature to follow instructions, or your nature to go along with something, to be allowing. Okay, some of you allow something that actually makes you unstable. Okay, so yeah, I definitely see that. And I definitely see that a part of their motivation could be, just to come around you. It's like you kind of like, this feels wild, because it's kind of like you buy like a lemon car. It's like you make the investment, and you get home, and then all of a sudden the car starts breaking down, needs a axle rod replacement, needs new brake pads, needs oil change. And you're like, I thought the car came suited and booted. And they're like, no, this was a used pre-owned car. And it's just like, now you stuck in a 5-year contract, paying 70 months, 72 months for, $500 car note, like, with $200 insurance. And it's just like, why? And that makes you like super unstable, right? And I kind of feel like, these people, they might even come in, like, they might even, during the intimacy, they might like make all these grandiose promises. They might whisper a lot of sweet nothings, friends, but these are not things that they can honestly honor. Like, these are not commitments that they honestly honor. Like, something where they literally just, these are like men. These could be like intimate partners that siphon your feminine energy, or they really don't have enough of their own life force. Some of them, they might like try to seduce you into sex, or they might try, like, these could even be, some of you guys may have been seduced by your boss at work, or some of you guys, they start doing, something where they start doing something this is like, it's something really superficial, why they're attracted to you. I also feel like they what was I gonna say, like it feels like something happens where they kind of like force you, maybe, trigger warning, some of you guys might have sexual assault or sexual violence in your history, some type of sexual trauma. You might be known for that, or have that signature energy. And I think that I don't know what's going on, but some of you guys, you definitely won the intimacy, but I think that you learn that they are unstable somewhere, okay? Like they might desire you a lot for, for pleasure and for physical moments, but they don't really have enough life force, okay? Some of them, they force you to be intimate a lot. Maybe they won't stop touching you. They can't keep their hands off of you, but they don't really know how to express how they feel. And that's really abusive too. And that's really just like, exploitation of your nature and form also, right? I also feel like, these could be people who, they have sex with anyone, okay? And so this is not really something special, okay? Their D is not special, or, their D could be contaminated. Some of them have given you a sexually transmitted disease after having sex unprotected. Like that was a huge exploitation of your nature and form, okay? But, but kind of shifting back a little bit to this North Node energy, I do feel like any instability that you experience is only temporary, because even whether they stick around or not, you are guaranteed something. Maybe you're already successful, or you already have like guaranteed commitments and guaranteed financial reward. Like it's like something where your success, you guys are very successful. LOL, that's what I'm saying. Some of you guys are very, very successful. So if they project onto your form at all, it is not, it is not good for them, y'all. Okay? Because this comes back so hard. If they don't value your form, or they don't value you in some type of way, I think that they, or it's just superficial. They learn that these are serious consequences for doing something superficial. Some of them, they pretend to be deep and tenacious. I don't want to say they're superficial, but some of them are really unstable, okay? And so some of them, they're not trying to do this on purpose, but they do exploit the female nature and form. Like, don't let anybody run up in you raw. Don't let them whisper no sweet nothings. Don't let them riz you about your draws, friend. You be strong. And I think that you have learned to be strong and to maintain your boundaries in situations, because they, whisper, I love you, you're the best I ever had, you're my whole life, you're my world, you're my benefit, this, and that, right? When they really just don't have the life force to keep going on, or they turn into an energy vampire, or they're really unstable, right? They're really attracted to you for the wrong reasons. Some of these people that you're intimate with, they have a deep insecurity about their mouth. And so if you're known for having a nice mouth, friend, your mouth is like, a lot of you, your mouth is your signature energy, especially if you have bright white smiles. This is, this wins a lot of people, for one. But two, some of you guys, your smile is natural, or you are natural, and this pisses people off, okay? Even the people that you're intimate with, like, of course they could be drawn to you because your body looking nice, right? But some of you, the signature energy around you is that your intimate partners become jealous of your vessel also. Like, they become jealous of your extremities, your physical capability, your fitness, your diet, your hygiene, your strength in general. And it's not total betrayal energy. I just think that, I forget where we left off, but I think that because you're at the North Node, you have faith in your ability to defend yourself from negative forces. You're already a success, and so you will never make those mistakes that you made in the past. You move very careful, is what I'm hearing. And I think that you can sense instability quickly now, okay? Right on the money with that, right? So but some of these people are, some of them do, they could be betraying and lying, okay? And I think that challenge your perception of whether this is genuinely expressed, okay? Some sensual moment, okay? I also feel like, that's not really something that you have to worry about because you're at the north and already a success. I think that a lot of times the universe will bring us, betrayal bonds where, it's fake intimacies or, partners that reflect their pseudo selves when we still need to mirror, or we still need a shadow aspect reflected back to us. In order to bring something into tangible form, we need both shadow and light. And I think that you learn a lot of the shadow reflected through, in the conscious reflection of your lovers. And that is one of the most complicated intimacies. And so I think that you do learn a lot or you do challenge a lot of your perception in these dynamics. For one. For others, your signature energy definitely, involves some unstable partners. Maybe, it could be all kumbaya during intimacy. Everything could be fine. But I think that the way that might translate in the outer world, it could be challenging. For a lot of relationships, a lot of times, okay? And I think that, if you're concerned about someone lying, I think that nothing, no instability of a lie can stop you. It can bring you out your bag because you guys are in a comfortable, careful position, okay? And I also feel like there's a signature energy around you fleeing abusers. Some of you guys, this means that you fleed abusers. But I was going to say one more thing. So, but let's keep going, friends. What is your signature? What's your signature energy? Okay. Yeah, what did I say? Both shadow and light. You needed both. And I think that's what we can go back to as well. It's like, nothing could take form. And I think that if you've already been so successful, you've already integrated a lot of the shadow. So I think that you can be more comfortable in your intimacy now and surrender sweetly, right? But be careful with someone. I think that you've just learned to be careful with someone giving you instructions because that could be undermining of your feminine energy. Especially because some of them don't believe that you are like, there is something where they project your ineptitude when you are probably way more astute than them, okay? So that can make them bitter. Like some of you guys, there's a signature energy of your intimate partners where they might be drawn to your life force or drawn to you irresistibly, but then you discover their shadow aspect. Like some of them, you'll learn that they were envious of your mouth and the way that you talk. Some of them are envious of your feet, your extremities, hands and feet, or just like your capability. Some of these partners, intimate partners, grow hostile at your personal growth, grow defensive, grow intimidated by your level up, right? And that's why it's really important for you to not let anybody tell you what to do, or be careful taking instructions, because that is especially if they're not successful, right? They can't control you. And I think that is your signature energy after getting exploited, your nature and form, that you learn boundaries and that you can't be controlled by some domineering person pretending to be light. You know what I'm saying? So, let's get more about your signature energy. This doesn't feel like, I want to keep it more I want to say light, but keep it more general, because it's not supposed to be about a specific person, and more so about the energy that you embody. And the energy that you embody, your signature energy, is like total benefits, right? I think they should come around, and the benefit that you offer them in pleasure or in your one-on-one unions I think that the benefit is what inspired, like, is what triggered the shadow. Like, oh my God, I haven't had this before, or I was missing something. That's why they, That's why they provided the care. It's like something where you might bring, the the care or benefit that you offer may trigger a shadow, and it may trigger their own pain and shame that make them unstable. It's not that you do anything wrong necessarily, and I think that it could just be temporary while they adapt into your benefits, okay, while they receive your gift. I think that you need to allow your healthy relationships to receive your gift, okay, to apply your gift. And I think that they do, but some of them, this triggers their shadow so much that they start doing something fake, right? They start to grow bitter, okay? They're not able to release resentment, because some of them, they just wanted a form, they just wanted a body to fuck on, right? And so when you came in as an intelligence or as a success or as a benefit, that challenge, what they thought was possible for you in some type of way, okay? But that's really them just having the tendency to abuse people, okay? Okay, or especially the female form, okay? Some of them just have this tendency to do this. So, yeah. And I think that it just reflects that they're really unstable about something, okay? So, they can't have a, steady sensual relationship. So, you might not have faith in them because some of them grew really, really unstable about your sensual relationship, right? Or they didn't have enough life force of their own and they became toxic. Especially when some of them their shadows were triggered at your capability, your benefit, or your success, right? I think that their true colors show, okay? Some of you, they could have been with someone else, or they were with other people, while, saying that you were the only one, or saying that, something where they could have just been lying. Their expressions are lies, okay? So, and I think that some of you guys bring the lies to light, okay? Or they just they become so unstable, they can't, they just expose themselves, friends, okay? So what's your signature energy, friend? Okay, oops, shuffle again. And it's like something, I don't know, it feels like you come around with the hidden knowledge, like you test them. It's all a test to see how they're going to treat your form and nature. And when they exploit it or don't value it, or when they don't have faith, or when they break promises, and then it's like something where this intimacy is something where, especially if they break their commitments and bonds, it could feel like an intentional sabotage. It could feel like excuse me, friends, that dry cough just came out of nowhere, like a cough from the wind, like, oh, it drew the wind, like, but yeah, so it could feel like, it could feel like sabotage. It could feel like they're doing something intentionally to make you unstable, right? And I think that that's when you discern their shadow, that especially if they put you in an unstable, dangerous situation, you discern that that's not someone that has your best interest. That's someone that exploits your form, right? If they put you in a dangerous or unsafe situation, that means that they don't value you, or that they don't, that some of them, they don't worry about you. And I think that could also be unstable, okay? For you, you could, they always, something where they always leave you to be strong, okay? After intimacy. So, and you just bring some of their shadows to light, is what I'm hearing. You bring up their shadow to light. Some of you guys, you end up, like, this ends up being it could end up being a big plot twist, okay? Where they learn that you're better, okay? Some of them, especially if they started to compare your intimacy to someone else. Some of you guys, if you're on a flexibility journey, I know that we have ballerinas and dancers and pole dancers here, you don't have to worry about, somebody with greater flexibility than you, okay? We don't care about that, because we know that a lot of it is illusions, and we know that a lot of their flexibility, especially if they're a Renaissance movement, a lot of them are defensive, right? And so you're the clean one, friend. A lot of y'all are the clean feminine energy that gives them instructions. So that's not pleasure. Being flexible, some of them are actually not, they're actually not flexible, they're actually not mobile. And if you've given them instructions on how to fix their movement whatsoever, they're not pleasure. Okay, LOL. And I'm hearing somebody waited for you to become flexible, or they waited for you, they sponsored you to become flexible, or for a sponsor you to go get your body done or something like that. So you don't have to worry about that at all. Okay. But I do feel like, something becomes unstable, not because they don't like your benefit. I just think that they become intimidated by how successful you are, how strong you are. So, you have to, it's like something where you have the power to change your perspective, and they don't expect that. And that's actually a really, really big power to view. When you emotionally withdraw, they know that you're not tethered to this intimacy. It's not about flexibility, because you were the benefit, and some of you guys were the fastest of becoming flexible. You're like the most successful. Like, they were not really successful if they had to receive flexibility instructions. Okay. But I think that, some of them, they could start to lie. Some of them, you could literally just drift apart from each other. I think that, it could become unstable, because especially when they learn your benefit, or learn that you're successful, or learn that you're strong enough on your own. Okay, it's like they're expecting you to roach and beg, right? And it's just like, you're like, I'm independent, or I have my own success. You know what I'm saying? And I also feel like you're really just like not tethered to the intimacy. Not, you're not one of those people that gets swept off of your feet, or you're not someone that gets bound by, sexy time like that. Like, some of you guys, you might get up and go right after sex, or you leave right after sex, or you hop in the shower and get up and leave, or something like that. Something where you have to move on to your next task or something like that, because you're successful and have to like get back to your life. And so that makes people unstable, and that's not something that you can control. They start clamming up when they see that you're successful, and that you have a benefit to offer. Okay, that they just can't control you or seduce you with gifts, money, and sex, right? That's how you undermine the female nature and form. When you're like a damsel in distress, then you're prone to, anybody and all these sweet nothings, right? When they're really acting from their shadow generosity, their egoic generosity, okay? Trying to just capture a female, something. But you're very strong, especially because they can be real sensual, friend. And it's like, especially if y'all are flexible, like us at a Renaissance movement, we can be folded in half and just like curling, folded into a little ball and curled into, it's like something where that's really desirable, that's really pleasurable, y'all. Okay. LOL. So I think that, they see that you can have this like really sensual intimacy, but you don't become unstable, okay? Or you're very careful not to get exploited again, okay? So, that's what I'm saying. What's your signature energy? We have Judgment, okay? Your signature energy involves like you having some of you guys write books, or you write truths. It's like something where you might write about your intimacy, you might write about your pleasure zone, okay? And then you learn, like, it's like something where you see the relationship evolves, or it reverses. Like, there's something where there's a reversal of the intimacy. Like, it's no longer intimate. It's no longer pleasurable. It's displeasure. Okay, something where they have a karmic reversal, or they backtrack in life. Some of them, they really are jealous of your mouth. Like, your intimate partners are really jealous of your mouth and the way that you speak carefully, or something like that. They become like, especially if you find them looking at your mouth a lot, like, I think that your partners are really envious of your speech and your voice and the way that you talk, especially masculines. They might have, someone's name is Andre, like they really don't know how to talk, or they might stutter a lot. But it's something where these could be people that choose someone else, right? After being intimate with you, like some of them, they be like, you're the one, or I want to marry you, or this is it, you know what I'm saying? Like, and then they become unstable about something or someone else, and it's just like, that's a karmic challenge that they be having. Bad luck, it's like something where the signature energy involves like a lot of bad luck. I'm not gonna say bad luck, but like it kind of feels like bad luck in love, because it feels like they can be real sensual and intimate, and they can be emotional. Some of them start breaking down and crying, and it's just like they become unstable about something, and they just like, some of them, they have to leave your life, or they go no contact. Someone like, this is a Leo, or a Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. It's like you're already here successful and like guaranteed a success or something like that. So if they reverse or they choose someone else, they really play themselves. They really take an L, okay? Some of you guys, you just don't like their D. Some of you don't like their D, or there was not enough attraction, okay? Okay, so yeah, that's what I'm saying, friends. So we have the Eight of Cups. Yeah, this person, they're just, some of them, they don't really have other people. With this Eight of Cups, LOL, this kind of feels like a ring. Like, this is the karmic loop, is that like, these are people that try to justify other people, okay? And you guys could be having this really deeply intimate, emotional relationship, and when you are journeying away from each other, or you're away from each other, they are like, they're struggling, or they're unstable, or they're not really going anywhere, friends. It's not really something that's working, okay? So if they go no contact, or they don't fulfill, because some of them grow so unstable, they have to leave your life. They have to like exit the premises, friend. They can't even talk and have a conversation. Because they literally become so, I think that their expectation is met, like their false or unrealistic expectation is met with your like guaranteed success and benefit, and it becomes really destabilizing for them. Like, I think that a lot of it is really ego driven. Like, they really, they just want more options. It's not because any of them compare or are better, because a lot of them, they actually get really, really pissed off that you're better, okay? Especially some of these partners, they become jealous of you too, friend, okay? And I just want you to know that this is not something that you have to worry about, okay? Some of this is temporary, but I think that a lot of you guys are just, your signature energy is like really, it's bad luck in love. And I think that some people are starting to sympathize with that, or they can relate to that, especially like highly ambitious people, not even just women. Like, if you're a highly ambitious person, you need a highly ambitious partner, or someone that has a vision or a dream for themselves. And some of these people are they're just looking for more options. They don't really have a vision or dream, or they're really complacent people. They're not really looking to accomplish anything. So, they can have this deep intimacy and emotional bond with you. And you're like a raging success, or like guaranteed, like you're already on your way to success, and some of them, they decide to go back to their ex because they don't feel successful enough. Some of them, they hide that they hide their intimacy with you. Some of them, they don't want people to know about their unconventional relationship they can have with you. This could even be something where your relationship is not really fully in the light of day, okay? Some of you guys, your relationship, it eroded in a way, it lost value in a way, and there's this karmic challenge around this intimacy with this, where they get out of control with their own confidence issues. It becomes a justification as to why they explore options incessantly instead of like focusing on accomplishing something with you. You know, I think that they really are not strong, okay? And I think that they, especially if they become unstable about your success, they really drive their own way, because they may have been, like I said, when their false expectations don't match the paradigm, you know, where the reality don't match the false expectations and paradigm that they make up in their head. They are actually, that changes the intimacy, right? They learn that you're not someone to take instructions, that they're the ones that should be taking the instruction. So some of them, they start driving their own way, they start getting out of control. You know, a lot of them, they have karmic challenges around you where they incessantly explore options, and these people have no benefit, is what I'm hearing, okay? And I think that your signature energy is where you have to you're a goddess, or they might even give you a crown or like bind themselves to you in a contract, and they still do this like karmic thing. Like some of them could literally be married to you, and they still do this karmic thing where some of them, they think that they can do whatever they want to you. They think that they can go explore these options, and like that, but that's really exploiting you. Like some of them, they might just flat out lie, okay? For others, this is just a rite of passage, and I think that there's definitely a reversal where they projected something and went back to their ex. Like I said, they're projecting onto your success, or they project onto your image. Some of you guys have a consumeristic image in society that's really, really easy to project onto. But I think that you do bring something to the light in this intimacy where, you know, you're guaranteed to be successful. And so if they're not in alignment, that means that they won't be successful, friend. They're karmic, or they're at the south node, or they're really in opposition, okay? So what's your signature energy, group 1? Okay. Yeah, what did I say? Queen of Pentacles energy. It feels like a really big projection. But I also think that your signature energy, like I said, this feels like, I don't want to, you can let me know if this is true or not, but I think that this intimacy is where like a lot of them are drawn to you for superficial reasons, like your image, your consumeristic image in society, your social standing, your hair, your beauty, your skin, your body type in some type of way, right? Some of you guys, they do like the bang or something like that. But I think that some of them, they really have, you know, they keep telling themselves that you're the materialistic one, that you're the shadow attachment, that you are the, you know, that something's negative about you, right? That you're not this light being. And I think that you have to you have to be careful in this situation, not to overreact. Especially because some of them, they're still very intimate with you, still very sensual with you. This is something that's happening in the shadows within their id, okay? The id part of their psyche. Something where it rules their unconscious drives. And I think that some of it did lead to a reversal, okay? Or delay. And I think that they started to, you know, because you may have been ambitious or working or, you know, successful or a big butt, it's like a lot of that stuff is just like really easy to project superficial things onto, like, oh, you're materialistic, oh, you're cloud chasing, or you're fame hungry, oh, you just want money, oh, this and that. And I think that it truly does break down the intimacy, okay? Some of you guys, you start talking crazy, okay? Maybe if you start to disrespect them, they do have mood swings, okay? But I think that this person, they are kind of abusive, right? I do think that they're abusive, and I think that they do have shallow projections about you being light, or about you being your body type in some type of way, okay? And it's really a projection of their own insecurity. I think that they definitely are the Six of Cups with you, but there is a projection here that kind of makes you challenge your perception of this intimacy. You know, it kind of feels like something about it was false, or something about it, you know, I think, you know, some of them, they just want to do their own thing. They're just driving their own way. They know, like some of you guys, there will be a success and benefit in this situation, but this person has a lot of mood swings, where they have to recover from disappointment, from an exploration of options that they that weren't successful. Okay, you were the only one successful in this situation. And I think that your intimacies with these people are not really collaborative. Okay, I think that you do get your benefit, but I think that the teamwork breaks down. I think that it stops becoming emotional. I think that there are fond memories and nostalgia between the two of you, but when they started projecting something superficial to explore options, this just felt like your relationship, it broke down with the Wheel of Fortune and Three of Pentacles reverse. They kind of feel like out of control with their shadow, okay? This is not your fault. I don't want you to think that this is your fault. This is someone that they might come around you and act like they're working on something, right? But they're not actually collaborating with you romantically. You guys are actually not working on an emotional bond. This person is just that they start to project something else or someone else, right? And it's just not, you're not working with them, okay? Something where they don't have any options, okay? With the Eight of Cups reverse, they're really disappointed at, these options from the past, and some of them, they really just don't want to validate you all the way. Some of them, they don't want to give you the crown. Some of them don't. But I think that this is definitely a pal where they might choose someone else because they become too unstable about your success, or they're just like not successful enough, or you lose attraction. In a way, some of you guys lose attraction. Some of you guys, this is a temporary breakdown, and some of you might be on break, or maybe this is an on and off again relationship, but they thought that they were God. They thought that they were the only way you could succeed, and that was not true. You succeeded on your own. Some of you guys, you let them cool down, or you put them on ice. Some of you guys fell all the way back, and you were still very successful, and they were left out of control, right? Not really having anything. They don't have nothing. If they were exploring options, their intimacy never compares, and they were not successful there. They were not successful there. It looks like they have kind of like, a lot of them have an aimless drift. I don't know what they're projecting. With the Six of Cups, it definitely feels like there is something beautiful there, but I think that you revisit these memories and learn that they were unstable about something else, or someone else, their ex or something. And so that just means that, I think that some of them, you really start not to care about the intimacy. So, your signature energy is that you've definitely been exploited. And it's because they are projecting, okay? And you're left to stay strong when this situation breaks down, just to cool off by yourself with memories of them, okay? And these are the relationships that don't manifest anything. They leave you to recover from the void, is what I'm hearing, friend. And so that intimacy, all that promise and pleasure and sweet nothings didn't mean anything, okay? Never amounted to anything because they were projecting. That's what I'm seeing, Group 1. Let me know how your signature energy resonates, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Hi, Group 2. Welcome to your selection. So you chose Respect with Queen Latifah. Okay, so I think that your signature energy definitely demands respect. So don't let anybody get it twisted, friends. So some of you guys might be people call you queen, okay? And there's more than one queen, for one. Also, and two, this feels like it was a lot of earned respect as well. Because if you guys are like in your Renaissance energy, in your Renaissance era, a lot of people underestimated Renaissance, and those were like foolish, naive risks. So some of you guys, I don't know if this is like a part of your signature reputation, but I think that you definitely have a crown. You definitely have earned respect, but I think that like some of these people, I don't know why, this feels like there was like some kind of risk taken around you, okay? I don't know, like maybe people even started like, I feel like something negative could have happened. Maybe someone disrespected you, or maybe someone dissed you, and then there was like an undeniable or irrefutable truth that where you were very secured in a situation. I don't know what happened, but it feels like if they try to like disrespect you, like I don't know, it feels like people can try to come for the way that you look, and that's the risk that they take. Like something where this could be people who attack your physical appearance in some type of way, and then you're really affirmed by someone else. Like I don't know, because maybe you're having this problem with your ancestry. I think that this could be a problem with your ancestry or your cultural group. But I think that you definitely achieve unconditional love. But I think that they take a risk to disrespect you, or they take a risk to, some of them could criticize you about something. Some of y'all have really long ass hair underneath that wig and sew-in. And I don't think that some of y'all have been knowing that people are dragging people for wearing wigs and sew-ins. Like, maybe not so much sew-ins, but I think like sew-in could be good because we can still see your natural hairline. But I definitely think that some of these people, they took some risk about you. Maybe they said something about your beauty and it was just not right. Like some of you guys, you barely had contact with them or you don't know them very well. And some of you, I mean, like your beauty, it has been crowned by someone. Especially if these are like black people trying to dish your beauty. If your beauty was at all affirmed by the dominant culture, then that was a big risk that they took. They were like, oh, we didn't know that the dominant culture was liking that, or something like that. Like something where like people try to really come for your roots, or come for who. I just saw this card. They tried to really come for your roots, or they tried to come for your sense of security, like around your self-image, or like around your self-image. And I think that a lot of your image has been nurtured and selectively, crafted by extremely well endowed people for permanent use. So if they were like somebody was trying to pull your roots, or was trying to pull your sense of security by making a comment about your physical appearance, this could be happening. This is just a channel message, but we're getting more into the cards. If this resonates, y'all, they were not able to defend that claim. They were not able to, that was not something that made sense or was not real. People did not agree with that. That was fake news, okay? We have the ninth house, as if it came from all that there is. That's interesting because that kind of is the goal of symmetry. And I don't know, for some of you guys, you are in an interracial relationship, and if you were dissed by members of your culture, you had hard luck in romance, I think that you were relating to people as if you came from all that there is. So there's no challenging your sense of security when you've actually, some of you guys have done something in a big way with the ninth house energy and have been connected to all that there is. No card has ever been accepted before, like Chase Bank. You are very well accepted. You are very assimilated into the dominant culture, and you're very valuable, not just to yourself and to your own group, but you are highly valued as if you came from all that there is, right? So them disrespecting you for your skin color or a characteristic it was not true. Okay, friends, it was not real. Okay? Because something happened to you in a big way, and it involved like something, maybe even, I don't know, your signature energy involves something principled, or maybe it's even rooted in a scientific law or biology. Like, you graduated in biology, and that's the law that's involved, is that there's no negating of biology with some, some fascination that you make up in your head that's not connected to the fundamental reality that lie beyond. I think that you're extremely respected and desired and something happens for you in a big way. So your small opinions, like I don't know, something small, there could be like small opinions about, about you, and these are people who can't defend these attacks on your crown because it is not valid under some kind of like scientific law, maybe biology, physics, mathematics, and things of that nature, friend, because something happened for you in a big way, and something that they have been doing or saying, especially people of your kin or your ancestry, have not been able to, like, there isn't a scientific law that supports their claims. Okay, they're not valid claims. So, you're extremely real respected, and I think that that's your signature energy, for one, because you definitely connect to everything and all that there is, right? And people form very, very strong bonds with you for a contract. Something like that. Especially if this is like, if you guys are coming from group 1, somebody may have, they offered you a ring. Honestly, it's a really big shit. If you like ran into the same conventional problem, and then you move into an unconventional relationship, and they, proudly, openly, and boisterously crown you and offer you marriage and offer you contracts and rings and permanent. It's like something where these rings are like permanent entanglements, like permanent uses, permanent positions, right? So what they're saying and doing is not valid under a scientific law. Okay? For one, and two, it doesn't matter really what they think. Okay? So group 2, what is your signature energy? Because it's actually really funny. Because these are people that try to get disrespectful, I feel like, okay? And it's just not valid. Because it's like something where you're connected to the fundamental realities. And this is a entire range of laws that govern this principle. Like, I know something where there is a range of scientific laws or principles that you have applied that have earned you, like, maybe you've applied this and it have earned you respect. Like, something about you, they tried to reduce you, and it's not something that can be reduced. It's actually something that's happening in a big way for permanent use, for expanding, right, your existence. You're honestly just, some of you guys, you're really in the preheating stage. And so if they're mad now, they really haven't seen anything yet, you guys. Some of you guys are not even done, tailoring yourself, refining yourself, mastering your own tips and beauty, right? And so this is not, some of you guys, you're still like, this contract is still unfolding, but this is not like, it's like, especially if they make comments before you've even mastered yourself, they really put themselves in a position to be disillusioned, let down, or something where it really is that you're given a permanent position even before you master yourself. So you've already done something in a big way, or you've already applied enough of this law in this matter that help people connect to the fundamental reality, and what they have already, like, something disrespectful that they're doing have already been thoroughly debunked, and you're just in a preheating stage, is what I'm hearing, friend. Okay? Especially if they have been trying to talk about, somebody who it's something where someone was scientifically or clinically proven to be jealous. Like we passed about A in biology, and we learned that there are a lot of people mad because mad at big busted girls, mad at small curvy waist girls, mad at Coke bottles. If your body type was preferred, then why are you mad? That's the law that you need to apply. Okay, there's no disrespecting when you're sitting there mad. Alright? So something is happening for you in a big way, especially for anybody that disrespected you or came for your crown. It's like it's getting thoroughly debunked with a celebration of you. Okay? Like there's a celebration of you. So whatever they are saying and doing and making up in their heads are not real. Okay? To disrespect you. These are not real. And I'm hearing that some of you guys got the law involved, or the authorities got involved in the situation because someone kept trying, like somebody may have kept trying to deny the reality that they were committing crimes against you, that they were harassing you, that they were stalking you. Like these are people who do a lot of things. They do a lot of things in the dark. Okay. And some of them they may have just seen you get married or get a contract, or they see that some of you guys, this was a contract until your hair grew long, and now that some of you guys, your hair grows rapid fast. And that's another thing, like another misconception about about hair within certain cultural groups. Take what you must, take it how it resonates. But I definitely think that some of you guys, this could be a contract about your hair. And something traumatizing may have happened to you. Lots of negative things could happen to people's, like if there's something wrong with someone's hair, that means that something traumatizing really happened. Something big and traumatizing could have happened. Or it literally just could have been neglect, right? So a lot of what you've done, some of you guys, you have repaired yourself in a way. And especially if they tried to say, oh, black people's hair can't grow long. Some of y'all have grew your hair long as hell, cut it off twice and grew it back again. So a lot of y'all, when they see your hair growing long and fast like this is totally debunking the falsehoods and the myths that they've been telling themselves about black hair to make themselves more comfortable. Okay, we're moving into symmetry spaces, and we're coming into it with a biological understanding of hazards and security risk around self-image and body image issues in these differing groups. You are celebrating with your friends, black, white, blue, red, orange. You are celebrated in a permanent way. Okay? So a lot of these people, especially your symmetry relationships, they didn't come around you asking too many personal questions. They didn't come around you, asking about your wig and asking you to take it off. That's what black people do, because they become obsessed with some kind of scarcity trauma. Okay? Trying to divvy resources based on someone's physical appearance. That's actually against the law. We are not neglecting anyone or discriminating against anyone based on how they look. Period. Point blank. How someone's hair looks without their wig is none of your fucking business. How someone's hair looks while they're at work under their wig is not your fucking business. Someone's physical appearance while they're at work or under a permanent contract is none of your fucking business. So stop telling yourselves lies or justifying doing something unfair. Okay? You cannot discriminate against anybody based on how they look. We don't care how you feel about their physical appearance, because there are truths and proofs in the scientific law that thoroughly debunk these claims that you're making to justify why you are denying someone human and civil rights. There's no opinion about someone's physical appearance, because the law protects their statuses. That's not up for you to decide if someone is worthy of a job, worthy of money, worthy of a position. That's not you. that was decided by the universe, right? By the biology, where we learn that a difference in characteristics like hair, skin, and nails is not a grounds for you. You don't have the right to tell someone that they don't belong. You don't have the right to tell anyone anything. You don't have the right to judge anyone for their physical appearance. Because there's a fundamental reality that lies beyond many other states of existence, many other states and realities that will probably contradict every lie you've ever lived. So that's why there's a law to protect. So no, we're not at the celebration with our white friends talking about someone's wig. White people don't do that. Okay? So stop. White people are actually paid as fuck. And they wife Negroes with bald heads. So your opinion is invalid. So we're gonna stop you at the door. Okay? Stop coming up with these fascinations about someone's physical appearance because you are projecting your own deep insecurities that are not connected to the fundamental reality that lie beyond. That's delusional. Stop talking about someone's physical appearance when they've been given a contract, a ring, for a permanent position. That means that someone wants to see their face every day, permanently. That's the law. That's the only valid statement that you need to refer to. There's no more yap about your personal appearance, about someone's personal appearance. We don't care. You're the ones getting celebrated. Where are you? You're not celebrated. You're not honored. You're not given a permanent position. That's the security problem that you're having. Stop trying to justify mistreating someone because you can't make sense, right? You can't apply biology, math, and engineering, So, you're not the one in the house. We are. It's like some of y'all, you might have assimilated. Even if you're not black, something where you might have not have assimilated, but the way that you express yourself, you have addressed your personal liberties and have been able to, you have a financial capability, and none of that was contingent upon you, the way that you look, because it's protected by the law. Your personal liberty is protected by the law. So we don't need no hair, we don't need no skin, and we don't need no nails to have the right to live our lives. Your expression is as if it came from all that there is. You are highly rewarded and celebrated and recognized. And you're given a lot of D. So stop making up stories about someone's physical appearance or doing something to disrespect them. There's no sharing. There's no caring. There's no sharing D. All they do is follow your instructions, friend. That's the gag. Okay, that's the signature energy. LOL. And in a big way, okay, they celebrate you because your expression is highly revered. It's as if you came from all that there is. So no, your friends are not around you. Your white friends or your Asian friends are not around you, disrespecting your crown, right? Your friends, especially the ones with the cultural literacy, have watched you address your personal freedom, enhance your sensibility, get a financial capability, and some of them gave you a permanent position because of your earned effort. Some of you were giving a crown before you grew your hair or went on a weight loss journey, and now all they do is celebrate your wins. It's like something where all these people are doing, like your signature energy is celebrations of contracts, rewards, and people giving you permanent positions because you have earned it. Like, all your friends see is you being sensible and really valuing that. Like, it's not about how you look. They value the connection that they make with you, coming from these, even if it's different walks of life. Some of you guys play tennis, or you could you do something, like maybe you play something, you do something competitively, and they try to, like, in a competition mindset, try to disrespect you. But let's keep it clean in the name of the game, in the name of the sport, in the name of being rewarded for your merit, okay? Because a lot of you guys, you may have transformed yourself, or have, like I said, you may have gained a sensibility, gained a financial capability, have addressed your personal freedom and grew hair long, right? Those were within your liberties, but you may have come from a very oppressed position, and people, some people don't know that, right? Or some people, we have decisive action. Some people don't know that, or some people definitely just don't know what it takes to reach this level, okay? And not everybody, not everybody is respected, is what I'm hearing. Like, it's not, it's because you're respected, not because of how you were looking, but because of your sensibility and capability. And we learned that, like, through this process, you can protect your potential, even if you're not so further along as some of us, and the celebratory energy, celebrating how long our hair is, celebrating how we've repaired ourselves, celebrating symmetry, celebrating coming from all, as if we came from all that there is, right? Some of you need to protect your potential, okay? Especially if you're getting older, some of you protect yourself from ages, protect yourself from people projecting onto your aging face and skin, especially if you guys are like press correspondents working news. Some of you guys have been, you have been on the news, and maybe your hair, you've been losing your hair while being on the news. Like, maybe this is male pattern baldness, you're growing older. Some of you guys have been growing older, your aging face, especially like my white friends. Some of you guys, your aging face, you're literally, like, you're literally invited to the cookout, you know what I'm saying? Something like that. Or, people have, even if this isn't about racial difference, people could disrespect your hair or your face, or some kind of struggle that you could have been having with your appearance while having to be on camera. And so let me remind you, they didn't put you on camera because you were pretty, right, or attractive. They put you on camera because you were an excellent political commentator. Some of you guys, they put you on camera when you didn't need to have no hair, y'all. They put you on camera in that wig, in those braids, and with male pattern baldness, right? Because we're valuing the merit. You don't need to. I know on the front end we might look max a lot, okay, but we are not normalizing, like, removing people out of positions where they've earned a merit because of their physical appearance. Like, maybe some of them are like, oh, we need a new correspondent, we need a new news anchor because this one's losing their hair or something like that. I'm like, no, we don't. This person has earned this position, and they have a permanent position, right? So we stand by them while they fix them. LOL. Like, some of them, they watch people stand by you while you gain a sensibility to fix something about your physical appearance, right? This turned a lot of ops against you because they saw that your prosperity was not superficial, okay? So, I don't know what that was about, y'all, but I definitely feel like in this past, some people tried to disrespect y'all. And people were like, no, we celebrating them in a big way. Something like that, So, that's bad, friend, okay? LOL. So, some people try to justify not giving you a house because of your physical appearance. Like, no, housing is a fundamental human right. Okay, we're not disrespecting someone's life like that because you have a problem with some deep insecurity related to a cultural, religious, or racial difference. That's not real. The rest of us are healthy and sane and connected to the higher truth in a situation. So what did I say? I knew this was going to be like about a sport or something like that. I was getting that, right? These are the people who disrespected you are the people who use this athletic ability for their selfish reasons, okay? They're falsely invulnerable and entitled. Some of them, they really were trying to use this for sex, LOL. And some of them they may have disrespected something that that they felt was just for sex, or something that they felt was not worthy of a crown or something like that. Some of them, they tried to, when they learned that this was a dedication to transcending a physical limitation, a handicap, when they learned that this was a development of willpower and a strength of spirit, they see that this is what helped you gather a sensibility about something. Okay, that was like something where they're seeing, I don't know, something about your signature style could involve a sport or athletic ability, and they see that this development connected you to all that there is, right? This mastery of yourself connected you to all that there is. We have decisive action as well. You guys are very decisive, and you're known, like, your signature is free will and personal liberty. Honestly, these are people that you kind of made them feel like an idiot, because they see that this, I don't know, this development required you to learn a lot, or require you to take instructions a lot, or for you to apply a law, like a scientific law, a principle. Like, literally, sports science is real. Some of you guys, this literally, especially if they were trying to justify that you were like not intelligent enough, or like something where they tried to justify them being better, or they tried to act like they were better in some type of way. And the way that you developed, it closed the disparities. Like, I think that it really showed people that that the law or principle or something, some kind of applied science was involved. That this was not a matter of better, capable, or being more athletic, being more skilled, being better. That this was literally like something where the development was like, you had like a strong development, or earned a lot of respect from doing something, especially if you guys had handicaps. Like, you had to apply principles or science, like some kind of law or philosophy to something, and it was as if you came from all that there is. It wasn't like, oh, I can't do this because black people's hair can't grow long. Oh, I can't do this because black people's butts are too big. Oh, I can't do this because my skin is not light enough. Like, right, like something where you made them feel like an idiot, because they had the limiting belief that they were the only way, that something like that they were the only way, that was the only availability, that was the only, something where they may have even acted entitled about something, and you showed that this was like, that something was a part of your personal liberty and freedom. Like, you just, something where you could nonchalantly like travel, and it's like something where you just are like, I'm not bound by those limiting beliefs. I'm not bound by those handicaps. I'm not bound by some physical limitations that they place as restraints to like soothe their discomfort and security issues with differences. Because the way that you apply the law or a principle or a science, meeting that with a personal willpower, they cannot deny this development. And so they feel really dumb, especially because some of them were like, if this was a sport, some of them were doing it just for sex, and then they were not chosen for sex. Okay, some of them were doing this, to be falsely invulnerable, but it's really like, it's really for sex, or it's really for something that strokes their own ego, right? Some of them started feeling entitled to yoga, feeling entitled to movement, feeling entitled to these things. And you help people understand that this is a personal freedom, a personal liberty that's not actually, don't expect it. You're not entitled to anything, okay? So I think that meeting you, they can't continue to tell themselves comfortable stories, comfortable fascinations, especially these athletes, right? Oh, I've been a ballerina, and I've had this privilege since I was 3 years old, and here you come doing something fast and quick and with a handicap. You know what I'm saying? Like, something, I don't need to do this since I was 3 years old. I applied the science, okay? Yeah, that part. So a lot of you guys, that's why you're really celebrated as well, okay? Goddess of the North, that's right. Your signature energy, kind of like Pal 1, is that you're definitely like a goddess, right? So, there's no there's no talking about your beauty, friends, because you're very validated by many people, okay? From as if you came from all that there is. People are looking at you and they're not looking at no afro, they're not looking at no black, they're looking at how them legs bust open. That's it. Okay, them legs don't need no, we don't care what color they is as long as they wide, friend. Alright? LOL. So funny. But I think that that's like something that we have to really thoroughly debunk, okay? And so, especially like some of them, especially if they want it to be, oh my God, this sex is better, or we're, acting entitled towards something, they were not the ones getting celebrated. Whoever was acting entitled or acting, trying to like justify mistreating you because of a physical appearance, that's really reflecting their deep insecurities, they were not the ones getting celebrated. So, the end. Okay, the end, friend. That's the real plot twist, okay? Like something where you're literally just like your signature energy is being a goddess, being celebrated, being celebrated for having a permanent position after staying disciplined about something. They're not just celebrating you for vanity or some mediocre merit. They're celebrating you for something that you developed with a personal willpower and a strength of spirit, especially if you guys had handicaps. Like your ability could have been typecasted, could have been discriminated against. Like maybe you, like I said, some of you guys really had to protect your potential. In certain places where other places you were valued just for being there, just for coming in and expressing, right? So, and I definitely think it took dedication. So, those stories that they tell about, black people not having dedication, black people being lazy, black people not having passion, black people not having purpose, black people not being meditative, black people not being, black people only wearing, street clothes. Those were all lies, comfortable lies that they've been telling themselves. Passion and purpose, okay? Your signature energy, passionate as fuck, right? Signature energies. It's like, these are people that try to justify doing something disrespectful or illegal, y'all. And it just was not real. Like they tried to do something disrespectful or illegal, and it was not valid, y'all. Some of them, they're just pissed off that you know everything. You definitely have that signature energy of being a know-it-all. So like something, especially if they try to disrespect you, you put them in their place very quick, okay? Because you're the goddess of the North. At the North Pole, we are very dedicated, and we have personal willpower, so we're not going to be reduced to some ego tantrum, okay? So, they're just mad because you're the one that has passion and purpose, you know what I'm saying? So, they hate to see you something where they hate to see you making decisions for yourself. It challenges their security, like, oh, you know what's right, or you've done research, or you have all the information to make those informed, decisive decisions. Yeah, you do, friend. Like something where they don't expect you to be informed, or they don't expect you to be, for you to have this ability to like make your own decisions or have a personal willpower or strengthen your spirit, right? Some of y'all, when you were strong when you grew your hair, friend. Like that's strong, okay? Something that you did to apply the law, especially if they committed crimes against you as well. That was a thorough debunking, and some of it became your purpose, especially if you guys are having legal problems, okay? So you're highly respected for what you have, for your purpose, okay? And it's as if you came from all that there is. Everyone celebrates your purpose. Everyone benefits from your purpose. So it's something that happened. It could even be something that happened for you in a big way. I also think that you guys you could listen to alternative music, or you could listen to different styles of music, and it reflects, like your music reflects your discipline, it reflects your mindset about certain things. And so, especially when you listen to different styles of music, it helps you connect to all that there is, like different expressions that they are like, oh, we didn't know that you could relate to that, or we don't know, like something where you start shining bright, like like your white friend's friend, okay? Like you start shining bright like a diamond, because you don't let those stories of hate keep you from having good sense, ultimately, okay? So, I think that you're very celebrated here, okay? So, and you're very shared with. Also, like something where they could have, like, there's something where they really tried to justify something negative, okay? And it was not the truth, friends, okay? So, Group 2, what is your signature energy? You definitely are, your signature energy is fun, for sure. And I think that you've always had this purpose to do something with the law, with philosophy, to do, something with hair, to do something with, to better your life and to, like, relate to other people. Like, don't ever let someone make you feel guilty for assimilating, okay? So that's definitely a North Node energy, because why would I just stay in my hometown with a loser? You know what I'm saying? So, or why would I just hang around someone for their athletic ability? Like, no. So, LOL. That's what I'm saying, friends. Let's get, your signature energy. Let's get some more cards. Owl, let's wrap. The Seven of Pentacles. Okay. Your signature energy. If this is a romantic partner, okay, if this is about intimacy, they are very invested in you, okay? Especially some of them started to protect you under the law, and so that's how you know that you're very protected, or that they came for your friend, okay? I'm also, it's like, there's also, like, this goddess energy, this North Node energy is, you're very, you're very goddess-like, or you're very passionate, okay? So, people who disrespect you want to stop you from having passion, and want to, a lot of times they're jealous of your face, okay? Especially, like, if this is a racial problem. A lot of times the racial problems are people whose face card declines, and we are a face nation, friends. So, we don't have to, we're not here talking about someone's body. We're here, valuing them for their beautiful face, okay? We're a face nation, friend. The Two of Pentacles. The Ace of Swords. What is your signature energy? And then the Two of Wands, okay? This is a relationship that you, I don't know, this could be a specific relationship that didn't serve a purpose, okay? You'll know what this relationship is if it does not serve a purpose. A lot of there's like no, some of you guys, there's no attraction there, or there's nothing to look forward to, your signature energy is your crown. I definitely say it, because, like, you see in this picture, this kind of looks like a crown in this image, and I think that someone's name starts with letter R. This could be someone who has they come from a different culture, okay? And so I think it could be easy to, I don't want to say easy, but I think that some of them have been struggling. If they come from a different culture, they're struggling with you having someone's crown, okay? If you're in an interracial relationship, especially, y'all, some of these people that are from their ancestry or from their cultural group, we are not moving forward with them. And I think that you could have the same problem on your end, friend, because some of y'all were, someone gave you a contract in a big way, and it was to be shared. It was to share something with you. So these people who come for your crown, or come for the way that you look in some type of way, they don't really have a purpose. So they are not people that we move forward with. Like, you guys can have an open relationship, especially if you're interracial or have an unconventional aspect, like age difference, height difference, skin color, racial difference. And so when people see you guys together, you get very defensive. It gets very defensive, friends. Some of you guys are your natural blondes, and you could have a black boyfriend. Some of you guys, with people from your culture, other women from your cultural group, see you with this black man, they know that you're at the North Node. They know that you're, some of you, especially like, I'm not gonna say that this means you're prettier, but I think that you with this blonde hair, some of you guys have beautiful blonde hair. And this is my biased opinion, but I think that blondes make prettier interracial babies. LOL. And so like when they see you, this is my toxic trait. LOL. But I'm like something where when I see a blonde lady with a black man, I'm like, I know their children are almost always beautiful as fuck. Like something where like some of you guys might create like a sandy brown hair color, if you have like interracial kids. But some of y'all, it's like something where other women from your cultural group might see your relationship. They know that they're very invested in you, for one, that they're really involved in your physical world. And there's like this weird energy in something where this could be an interracial thing, where they're not expecting you guys to be so involved in each other's physical world so much. And you guys are really involved in each other's life, because you share a purpose together. Yeah. And I think that they could be, I don't know, I'm getting like, especially if you're a blonde in an interracial relationship, you could be really targeted by members of your own cultural group, like your own other white women or other women in your group. They try to attract your partner in some type of way, especially if you're doing a sport. Some of them, you could have a really, really athletic relationship, and your partner needs you, is what I'm hearing. I'm hearing, I need you. And so this person, who you guys might have a really, really big physical codependency on each other, especially interracial relationships. Do not think that these relationships are superficial, or that they are not, like, that you're not involved in each other's physical world a lot. Don't think that it's just sex or something taboo trapped in a closet. So you guys are really, really involved in each other's lives, and could become codependent on each other for clarity, honestly, in these relationships. So these, people will come around your relationship and get defensive, because some of these women want to have they want to have interracial relationships too. They have jungle fever, right? And it's like something where they might project their jungle fever onto you, and they try to come for your partner, and your partner, they're like, oh, that's a black man. They're just going to like want to have sex with all of us, right? Or they just want something light or something like that. And that's not always the case, friend. Usually, sometimes you could become, and I see this happening to interracial couples sometimes. It's like they crown each other, and a lot of times become, empowered physically with one another through a sport, through physical activity, and release those toxic binding limitations of racial difference. And so I think that some of them come around with jungle fever. They come around with those same toxic expectations, and they see that you guys are together. I don't know, I'm getting, especially for a blonde here, your partner is targeted a lot if you're blonde. So your partner didn't move forward with them, but I don't think that they really move forward with you. Like something, if you're wondering if they're gonna fuck up, I don't see them fucking up. Okay, friends, they're not planning to do that. Some of them are just, they see a lot of people like you, and it can be easy to try to like compare the different, subtle characteristic difference and facial feature difference, and you're just like this pretty ass blonde or something like that. And you might worry like, oh my god, their scarcity trauma is gonna make them, want all of the blondes or something like that. Like, no, that's not the case. They're not. You guys are very physically codependent on each other. And so because of a creative solution, a creative work that you guys did together, and they're just balancing their perspective. They're not actually moving forward with any of them. Okay. I also feel like, you know, some of these people, no matter if you're blonde or not, interracial or not, I think that some people here that tried to disrespect your beauty, but they were not their beauty was not honored here. Okay. And so they still have to, like, you know, they tried to, I think they could try to seduce your partner, you know, no matter what kind of race or color you are. But I think that their shadow, something about their shadows in this pile, where they try to do something disrespectful, where they try to, like, disparage the institution of marriage or something like that. It's not to be love in marriage, an institution that you can't disparage, something like big like that, like something where somebody, this ring and a permanent position that they gave you, like, lets people know that you cannot be disparaged. Okay. So I think that this is definitely something that these people witnessing or like, I don't know, you know, it's really envy. Okay. The Two of Pentacles, if you're asking about third parties, or you're asking about someone's, you know, beauty, you know, compared to yours, or, you know, if your partner is interested in somebody compared to you, I don't see that they are moving forward with those people. I see that these are people that have gotten jealous of your crown. And if you might be like, oh, you're just taking an opportunity to, you know, to explore options after giving me the crown, right? Because they know, some of you guys, especially if you're blonde or light, they know that a lot of people will be attracted to them because of your beauty and how you reflect the institution or something like that. Or, but it's like you might be very beautiful, but you also serve a strong purpose. So that's not the only reason why they're with you. And a lot of times, you know, they're not going to. It's like they decided not to. They decided not to move forward with somebody asking for sex. Like, especially with this athletic energy, someone tried to, it was a false sense of invulnerability, or using it for their selfish ends to, like, try to attract someone for sex. And some of you guys develop your athleticism. So you might not have always had this capability, or had this, you know, you can be falsely invulnerable too now if you want to. You haven't always had this, you know, long legs or open legs and sexual, you know, this, I don't know, this sexual, it feels like a sexual tool, something like that. Even hair could be a sex. I think that this could be a big reason why someone struggles with choosing someone from a different culture, because there are these people around them that are extremely envious of you, that they have to deny, that don't serve their purpose. Like, something where they were not given the crown, friend. Things did not move forward. They did not, you know, they might have asked for sex or done something slick and sly and cunning behind your back. Something they did, you know, they could have done something falsely invulnerable, or, you know, like I said, something for their selfish ends to try to inspire sex. And these people did not, you know, your partners did not get involved. Okay. And so, you know, I feel like these are people who could not take rejection. People who were attracted to you because you had blonde hair or long hair, or the way your hair was. Some of these people, their face card declines a bit. No, you know, no matter what the culture is. And so, you know, these are people that create issues, y'all. These are people who can't take rejection, but all your signature energy gives to them is an honorable relationship. Okay. Some of them try to catch you guys while you're still in the developmental stages. They try to catch you guys when you're still laying a foundation. They try to catch you guys when you're still you know, working on your spiritual values with one another. They try to do something, you know, falsely invulnerable and selfish. And so those were not the relationships. Like, something where your partner just gives them a look. Like, yeah, you can be, you're conventionally attractive, sure, right? But if they give you a crown and you guys have a purpose, it's something where they don't disparage that. Okay. So, and they see it too. is what I'm, something where they think that they can like try to seduce your partner with the conventional beauty, or with they try to contact your partner, they try to contact them, or like send offers to them, like something where they might show up as the Knight of Cups, they might show up as the Seven of Swords, they might show up as the Queen of Wands, the Knight of Wands in the tarot. And these partners, they will do a lot to try to contact them, or try to do a lot to try to, honestly, to get them to dog you out. Like, these are the women that don't care if they're in a commitment, they don't care if they have a ring, they don't care, right? Something where, especially some of them try to use their hair, or they try to use like they try to do something with a conventional or false invulnerability, sense of entitlement, selfish ends, and it didn't work. And so they have to kind of like, they're left needing to balance, like, that they come in, they need to balance their rejection. They're like, oh, my beauty was not enough to take someone's partner, or my beauty was not enough to make them make a decision about me. They were not, some of them, they could have breast, or it's like something where they could have breast, or they can have, like I said, there could be aspects about them or characteristics about them that they can use for selfish ends, like for sex, right? Like, oh, I have hair, and I have breasts, and I have a butt, or something like that. But that was, even if they have those things, it was not enough for your partners to like stop celebrating you, and to like turn like on you, and like start, giving it to them, or something like that. Like, it was not enough for them to disrespect you, right? And so they have to, like, your signature energy is like making people with the conventional beauty feel insecure about themselves. Like, they really have to balance their perspective. Like, oh, that person really did not choose my beauty. That person really did not, give me the crown. That person really never moved forward with me. They never gave me a permanent position. My face card was not approved, right? Something where they have to stop themselves from like telling themselves stories of rejection, like, oh my god, my face card declined, my body declined, or like comparing themselves to you. And it's just like, because they were like, it's like weird that they would do that anyway, because some of you guys, they come into a room and give you a crown, or they gave you a crown, before. Some of these people don't even have contact or a rapport, friend, and they start to like, make offers, okay? Some of them, they have to follow the law, or they have to follow some kind of policy. They don't have, they don't have a liberty here, is what I'm hearing. Like, something where they don't have a liberty here. And these really, it's like some, I don't know, you might just see them, they might just like see you guys and passerby, and see that you're the one for somebody because of a purpose, right? Especially some of them, they don't choose you on a superficial reason, right? They put you, like something where they put you on a contract and secure your position, instantaneously, immediately. And so that protects you from any conventional problem. A lot of the times that protects you legally, right? So they have to juggle their perspective when you come in, especially these interracial relationships. They're like, oh, well, I'm a blonde and I have breasts, and I, oh, this, and I'm great, and I'm the standard of beauty in my culture, right? And then they see that someone gave you an unconventional crown, or they see that someone, it makes them feel like an ill, okay? That they weren't given the crown, right? That they didn't make someone change their mind about you. It's just really strange. I think something strange happens where they try to disrespect the institution of your marriage or your partner, or something that serves a strong purpose, okay? And they just don't win this battle, friend, okay? Your signature energy is making someone feel like an ill, where they have to juggle their own perspective about their beauty. They're like, oh, well, they didn't move forward with me. They didn't give me the crown. Oh, some of them have breasts, but it's because they have big stomachs and they're fat, right? And, one thing I love about white women is that a lot of them are skinny as fuck with big, full breasts, right? So, some, you can get really hated for that. Like, being, I don't know, I saw this video last night. I was watching TV, like, I don't know, I was watching, like, it was like it was like an old TV show or something like that. It might have literally been that show Love and Marriage or something like that, whatever that show is called, where there's like this pretty, tall, skinny blonde with long, beautiful blonde hair, right, and full bust and breast. And you know, that's a really beautiful, like a standard of beauty, or like the ideal body type in the white culture. And I like a lot of times some of these, they could be like the standard of beauty or the ideal in a culture, and it's not enough to move forward, especially if you're in an interracial relationship. um, and some of you guys, you might reflect the standard of beauty, or you might reflect the highest ideal within your cultural group, even as a like black woman or a Latina. You could, or woman of color, like you could really reflect that highest ideal. And so they have to change their perspective about hair, skin, and nails, because they see that this partner, they could be looking at other beauty and see that you are the most beautiful to them, or that you are the number one to them, that they can't be a convention with them, that they know it means that you guys have a purpose. Okay, your signature is very passionate and purposeful. Okay, and very chosen. And someone doesn't dishonor you. They don't dishonor. They never move forward with people who try to use this sport or this athletic ability for their selfish ends, right? Some of them are just entitled, or just have the privilege of movement. They were born, into sports and fitness and hygiene and diet, and you guys have developed this. So, and it was through the reflection. A lot of times, it was through the reflection of your divine masculine, a conscious lover, and sometimes that can be someone from a different cultural group or different race, someone with big differences. And so these people around you, they couldn't take a crown from you, right? They couldn't use something superficial to take a crown from you. Especially some of them, if they have square body types, or they have big busts but they have big stomachs. We pass A in biology, and we know that that's just fat. Okay, so your purpose, like something where the purpose is very clear, and so that creates a strong bond of respect, right? And so that these people around, they, I don't know, something, these are the people that are seeing the signature energy. It's like they see that you just smile at them, and your partner realizes something as well, something shady and disingenuine. Like it's something very disingenuine. They're just like a conventional beauty, or a conventional loser that doesn't have a purpose, and you know doesn't have a rapport. A lot of times they don't have a rapport, y'all, and so they're just around, needing to, struggling with. Some of them are struggling with their forehead, or they're struggling with their face shape. They're struggling with, just not having a ring, just not having a commitment. Some of them, it's not so personal. It's like racial difference, and just like, oh my God, like, they could just feel that sting of not having someone celebrating them. Like they didn't move forward with them, no matter what offers they made for sex, right? No matter what falsely and vulnerable statements they made, it's like a one-sided investment almost. Okay, your signature energy is just like, your signature energy is just like you're there in a big way, and there's someone small in the shadows, and a secret sorrow needing to kind of like, rely on their hair, or rely on, some of them, they have, be lucky that you don't need any face jewelry. Some of these people have piercings and tattoos on their face, or they do something to cover up their, be lucky that you don't need anything like to cover up your face. Like you don't need any special hair wraps, or nose rings, or big dangly earrings. Like a lot of you guys don't need a lot of gaudy accessories, and you're just really naturally beautiful. And some people, especially people from different racial groups or different hair types, they struggle with feelings of rejection, that they can't use their convention to like steal, right? That they're not interested in them. They didn't move forward. Okay, so they show very clearly who they're invested in, because they do something to put you in a permanent position. With the Eight of Wands reversed, the Three of Cups. Yeah, this is someone who is, the Three of Cups could be someone that thinks about you. Okay, this is not somebody that you know, or someone that you work with. Okay, this is somebody that sees your crown, or they engage with you and they have like some opportunity to engage with you with the Ace of Pentacles. Something where you guys might, it's like something where they might be involved, and this gives them the natural opportunity to relate, or to to talk about something. But when they talk, or when they, the rapport might not be real. it might not, it literally might just be something imaginary. But ultimately, whatever it is falsely invulnerable. Okay, so some, like I said, some of them, they could have this, like, they could have a conventional attraction, and this is like also the Three of Cups energy as well, where they're just like, they're just someone that is around as well. Okay, so they're not really someone that they chose to share with. They're someone that's just involved or around as well. With the Three of Wands reverse, yeah, I think that they represent a temporary block, for you guys to apply some kind of law in some type of way. And I think that you were the one that, it's like you're the one that has like the contract in the situation. You're the one that brought the fire, meaning that they might have had this conventional beauty, that may have gotten appealed to previously, but they were not passionate. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was not something where it inspired, fire and desire. Like, they were not the primordial power. They were not, they might have just had this conventional beauty that gets typically affirmed, right? Like, if you're a disco clown looking for the lightest skin color, right? Or some of you, you're their leader, okay, LOL, and they just they have to take orders, or have to follow a law around you in some type of way. So this is just like not a real relationship that they have with you or your partner. It's just someone that's around, that gets very invested in what you're doing. Okay, someone that you don't really have a real rapport with, or there's something that there's a false invulnerability in a shared space, or they're just somewhere, they could be someone working their occupation, or just a stranger, like at a cashier checkout line, or or something like that. But these people, they're involved, or they could talk to you, but some of them aren't just like seeing you. And I think that they have to juggle too. They have to like balance their perspective. And I think that they really are attracted to you. Some of like, these could be other women, and they can see you as an unconventional beauty or difference, or some type of way, and they see that something is very organic for you, LOL, and it's just not for them. Like, it's like you're the one that brings the fire, desire, the passion, the purpose, the inspiration. They were just the conventions, the loser. They were just boring. Some of them were just doing something illegal. Some were just they're working a dead-end job. They were just doing something as a loser, and you came in doing something in a big way. So they were never the root of desire. Okay, the Nine of Cups, you're actually someone that came in and disillusioned them. They thought because their hair was long, be lucky that you don't need any face alteration. Be lucky that you don't need, Nine of Cups reverse, be lucky that you don't need any face alterations, like nose rings, piercings, tattoos, a lot of hair to cover up your face, bangs, head wraps, and stuff like that. Some of you guys, you were bagged at a bald head, or you were bagged for your legs or something like that, LOL. It's like something you come around in a big way, and it disillusioned these conventions that thought they had the beauty before. And they may have already existed there, or you just, even if they were new or came after, they still were not chosen for a crown. Okay, some of these people did get invested here with the Ace of Pentacles, but I don't see that this is not someone that got the crown. I think that these people were making offers that were falsely invulnerable, and it was because they were attracted to you also. Some of them were attracted to you also, but some of them did start to compare themselves, and it did not go in their favor. Okay, you should not compare yourselves to someone fundamentally different than you. Okay, they were considered not as pretty. Okay, even if they had hair, skin, and nails, friend, they were just not considered as pretty, or they were not passionate and purpose, right? They're just someone that got obsessed with you, I think, and took opportunities to express something falsely invulnerable to see if they can move forward with your partner, and that wish did not come true. Okay, thank you so much. I'll see you guys in the next one. Hi, Group 3. Welcome to your selection. Welcome to Renaissance. Y'all, you chose Erykah Badu with spirituality. You definitely have that classic mystic energy. Okay, you could wear spiritual jewelry. Maybe you guys wear your hair big and kinky. You could also like, you could also have like, you could wear like a lot of different patterns of clothes and textures of clothes. That's like, that makes you look really classically mystic as well, like wearing eccentric clothes, if you will, a lack of a better words. So let's get into it, friends. What is your signature energy? Some of you guys have really nice hats, or headwear like scarves, and you could do like signature spiritual things like yoga, meditation, mantra, mala, japamala beads. You know what I'm saying? You could be like literally that. You traditionally, you do tradition. You do things that pole dancers do. You do things that yogis do. You do things that tarot readers do. You do spiritual shit. Like, you're into crystals. You're into typical mystic stuff. So it's a big part of your personality, I feel like. Okay, I think that your signature energy is a distinct personality. Some of you guys like to wear the color orange or yellow a lot. Interesting. That card wanted to show itself to me. We have Cancer energy. What is your signature energy group? Okay, so your feelings, your attitudes about the past, use your intuition. Your signature energy, you definitely are intuitive. I think that people pick up on that immediately. They're like, oh damn, you're definitely a mystic, you're definitely spiritual, you're definitely in your feelings, something like that. They're like, you're definitely in your feelings, friend. Your signature energy is very emotional. You might be a Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, but I think that this could be giving rise to a particular situation where you had the intuition to protect something from an authority, right? Someone that has an authority position, someone that has someone that tries to give instructions. Is like some of you guys, you have a situation in the past where someone abused their authority position, and you might not have had all of the information or evidence that you needed, but you guys, you were spiritually strapped, or you spiritually downloaded something about some kind of abusive authority from the past. And I think that you're now, like, your signature now is that, like, some of you guys have become a spiritual authority, or you've become an authority yourself, and you can have like an official office, right? And you're very spiritual. You could have a spiritual belief system in your office. And so they see that a lot of the times, this could be your signature energy, where a lot of times you follow your intuition to do something in your official pursuit. Like something where you're like, well, I didn't receive a report, but I'm going to dig into it anyway, right? Because I think that you definitely have, like, a part of your signature, your style could be something from the past where there was an abusive power, or struggling, or someone like you saw someone struggling for power. Something like this signature energy resulted from your history, resulted from your past, attitude about your past. And so a lot of them see that now you are very sharp, or you're very keen, or the way that you express your feelings, you say you could be relating it to something from the past. You're like, well, I've been doing this in the past, or I've came across this same issue in the past, and I've gotten clarity and truth since then. Like, maybe I didn't have enough evidence to convict them in the past, but I know what to look for now, right? And I think that your signature energy, some of you guys are like, you literally could work in something that requires you to be defensive. Okay, so it definitely requires, I definitely think that your past could make you defensive. I'm not saying that you're off kilter. I'm saying that, like, a lot of times you already know, you already have an intuition, where someone could try to exploit their authority position, abuse their authority position, misuse their authority, and it's because they become seduced by the power, they become seduced by the role, or they become more concerned with appearances than doing something fair. Okay, so I think that your signature or your style is a result of your history, where you may have had, it really impacted your feelings, an abuse, right? Some type of abuse or some kind of past situation that you know now. Okay, we have that fox energy. Yeah, I think that was like really, that's really like that. You know, a style or a signature betrayal. So, and I think that that was this history or this past betrayal lets you give, like, I think that those, you look in hindsight and you're like, oh, that was the red flag, or that's where I misstepped, or that's where I didn't, I didn't see, right? And so it's really, I think that it's really important, to not try to erase your past. Remember your past, but try not to let it trigger you so much. But I think that you're starting to see the fox traps. You're starting to use your intuition of people pretending, like some of these people pretend to be in harmony, or these people, from your past betrayal and deception have showed you like a lot of what to look for, right? And I know a lot of you, especially if you have that, you drag in a wagon, you got that chariot on your back end, that people are deceptive around your body type, okay? Or that they will project onto your communication a lot. Some of you, you have a, this is a, I don't know, this is a, what was I going to say? You know that card that comes out? What is that card that comes out all the time? Like some of you guys, this is like you are getting, you're getting an acclaim for, for disempowering someone, or one-upping. It's like something where you're one-upping someone, or you brought truth and clarity. You brought something to the light about some cancers. Some of you guys have a notoriety, that's a big part of your signature. Your notoriety around these cancers, right? And I think that because some of you guys you've already gotten a notoriety. And that's a big part of your signature energy. And I think that also have really defined you in a way, because you couldn't control the betrayal and deception. I think it was something that happened around you, and it was intuitive. It was not something that was like, these cancers, they're never really direct about anything. They send subliminals a lot, or there was a mystery around them. Maybe you just, like, they were Decepticons, friend. They were trying to, they could be coming around two-faced, trying to act like they're your friends, but really they're not, okay? And I think that this past situation taught you something. Especially some of y'all use your spirituality to reflect about you, or reflect or resolve, like there were like varied emotions about your past. And so your spirituality is a big tool that you use to keep yourself grounded, to keep yourself sane. And I think that it's also, your intuition has protected you. And so I don't think that you doubt your gifts anymore. You don't doubt your spiritual gifts anymore. You don't doubt your intuition anymore. Never doubt yourself anymore. Because a lot of you guys, you have a big signature for a betrayal or deception in your past. And a lot of this ended up being a notoriety because you followed your intuition. Some of you guys had an intuition to protect something, and you protected all the right things, right? You were prepared for them because you had already had the intuition to protect, okay? And so that's a big part of your signature energy, is like dealing with a really big superficial obstacle where, they're shallow and immature expressions and emotional states, behavioral health problems, mental health problems served as a significant challenge. And I think that made you, it definitely, impacted your feelings and emotions because it was like something superficial that fell short. and you just started to see the signs. Okay, you started to see the signs, LOL, a lot more clearly. What? Intuition. Your signature energy is your intuition. And I also feel like your intuition also makes your home life a paradise, because you know, you have the right attitude, and you have the right, you guys like share feelings openly and honestly. So that's really beautiful, and I think that's also a big part of your signature energy. So yeah, I think that your signature energy is intuition. Cancers are also known for being intuitive too. But you know, these cancers have been problematic in the collective, y'all. We don't like them. Well, they're crossed out, they're canceled. A lot of cancers have been canceled here, for being deceptive, right? It's like you have an intuition about someone becoming a problem, right? Someone's name that starts with the letter J or a letter N or a letter E. You already knew what to protect, and your spiritual, it's like you're known for having like a spiritual advantage or a psychic advantage in a situation, okay? And especially when you reflect your feelings about the past, it shows that you've already been on the advantage of this situation, and that this was like something superficial. They knew from the way that you express your feelings about the past that this was something superficial that fell short. Like, you knew that they try to act deep and tenacious, or they try to act like they're your friends, or they try to make, you know, these false and vulnerable emotional offers, and it's just, you guys can see so clearly that they're fake. Right? Deserve, reward, and purpose. Yeah, a lot of this is that you deserve like something, the El Sol. Okay, all right, El Sol. LOL. And you know, I think that a lot of what, you know, this is a little birdie for sure, is what I'm hearing. I'm hearing that these are little birds, and I'm hearing that like people are like, this is a crazy, I think that your signature energy, this is like a big part of your identity, who you are in some type of way, because like there's a big reward here for you, and your purpose became clear in this situation, because the way that you reflect or ponder about the past, it makes people trust you, because they see that the reward. So a lot of these people are seeing the aftermath, or they're seeing the result of your history, and they see that you were always on the advantage of this situation, that you always move with purpose, that you deserve this reward, right? A lot of them, they see that this, I don't know, this validates you or legitimates you a lot, and because like they can see a lot of your feelings, right? And some people, they don't honor feelings, or they think your feelings are unserious, when this actually, like, your intuition actually became a very serious matter, very serious business, very serious bank. It's like your big signature energy is like, it gives like, oh, you deserve this position, okay? It gives like, oh, you were always on top of it, or you saw this so clearly, or you saw this so clearly from the jump. Like, it's like something like your signature energy is it's like you're a beast, friend. Like, I think your signature energy is like you went beast mode on them. And a lot of them, they look in hindsight. It's funny because it's like your signature energy, like there's a hindsight in your signature energy that's 2020. And so it's not just you, it's people around that see this deserved reward. They're seeing their reward and the purpose now, and they see that you were protective the entire time, or that you were divinely protected the entire time, and that they were defensive from the beginning. Like something where they see that they were corrupted from the beginning, they were defensive from the beginning, that they didn't have they didn't have a spiritual value or a spiritual system that served them, that they weren't abundant. They are looking at these people, and they see so clearly how they were deceptive, right? They're looks like something in hindsight is 2020, and looking back and saying like, oh, this was your purpose all along, or that this situation unfolded exactly the way it was supposed to. And so this makes people, this legitimizes your spiritual gift a lot, okay? So Group 3, what is your signature energy? Let's get some more cards out, because this is definitely an interesting energy. Like, to be known for having a strong intuition about something that works in your favor, like something, your signature energy is like you follow your intuition about something and you were right. Okay, and they see that you took that risk, and now there's this reward for you. Okay, they're like, damn, not everything was in vain, friend. Like, it might have been hard or tough, or it might have been ego bruising, or it might have been really negative. You know, big crown chakra energy where you need to transmute some negativity in a big way. And they see that it was all divine protection. They see that it was all you following your intuition, you taking guided steps to reveal this betrayal and deception. And that's like a big thing. Okay. We have the servant. Yep, that's kind of what I was going for. Like, some of these people, they see that you might not have had everything that you needed, right? But you had the intuition to protect something. The servant in the shadow aspects is using a lack of money as an excuse not to move forward in your life. And they see that you overcame those limitations, right? Especially because, like, some of you guys, they see that, like, a big part of your signature is from, and why people should not be getting jealous of your material things is because they see that you delight in serving others, for one, but two, there was a period in your life where you could not move forward because you didn't have money and resources, and you were met with people who intentionally tried to harm you when you didn't have everything that you needed. And they see that you knew what to protect, and this, it impacted your feelings a lot because you didn't have what you needed or something like that. But you had an intuition, and that was enough. That was the wealth within you that could never be stolen. And so that your intuition to protect certain things when you didn't have enough money to move forward in life, they see that this all unfolded in divine timing and perfectly, right? So, that's really interesting, friend. It's this scarcity trauma where you were betrayed and by people who may have had more than you, right? They're seeing that these cancers, they had aerial equipment, they had lights, they had, costumes, they had shoes, and a lot of you guys, they stole from you when you didn't have enough to protect yourself, or you didn't have enough to develop yourself. And they see that you did not use that as an excuse not to move forward in your life. They see that you move forward by any means necessary. Okay, that's a big part of your spirituality, that you might not have had material confirmations, but you had intuitions. And they see that this is a big part of the past, especially now if they see you with a lot of materials and resources and critical aerial equipment grounding. Then they definitely see that you deserve this equipment, you deserve this space, you deserve to be back at the studio. You're never going back to the strip club, never going back. No, you can't make me. And if you do go back, that's okay. But a lot of them see that a lot of that you weren't lacking, for one, that you weren't lacking delight in your life, and that you were protected by others as well. Some of you guys, you were protected by others, or you ran into earth angels, and you protected certain things when you had the resources. But they ultimately, I think the biggest part of this, the biggest takeaway, is that you never made an excuse not to move forward in your life. They see that before you did not have what you needed, and now you're sitting back with all of these rewards for following your intuition, for doing the hard work, for being ruled by limitations and restrictions before you can move forward in your life. Okay, someone's name starts with the letter G. You didn't always have what you needed. Okay, it was a spiritual abundance first, right? Yeah, something superficial. Okay, yeah, these people with, especially the pole dancers, like, practice is very expensive. Okay, practice is very expensive. These hobbies are very expensive. And just like the consumeristic image, just have a consumeristic image is very expensive, and a lot of it is superficial. And so they're seeing that, this big part of your signature is that the superficial relationships fell short. These superficial relationships betrayed you, right? Especially when you started to get more money and resources, people started to show their true colors. They were not supporting you. Like, they might have acted like they were like a big support, You know, they may have acted like they were a big support of you, because you were there serving, you know, with a free and loving heart, but they were trying to do something. They betrayed you to do something superficial. Some of them they were trying to compete for your actions in life. And I don't know exactly what that means, but I think that that you took historic actions to protect the value of your practice. Some of you guys, you might even be doing something political, but you show people the true privilege of your citizenship is a priceless and profound gift. This is like something where it wasn't the privilege of your feelings or your servants is a priceless and profound gift. So these superficial people that I'm hearing they chase your actions. Yeah, like someone's name is Jane. Someone's name starts with the letter A or B or S. Like, these people are extremely superficial, and something where you might have ended their practice, or you ended something for them, okay, by having a purpose to dismantle something superficial that was harmful to us. It's not just that it was superficial, like I'm only doing this because of my selfish desires, but a lot of what they were doing that was superficial harmed other people as well, okay? So, you know, I think that you took historic actions. That's what the big part of your signature energy is, that you took these historic actions to protect your value, your true value that wasn't superficial, right? And if you went through a period where you didn't have enough money to move forward, they see that the actions that you took, that was not an excuse for you not to move forward, that you took historic actions, you still move forward to protect value because you saw priceless and profound gifts, something that you cannot buy at the store, okay? And they see now that you have a lot of rewards from doing that, okay? Yeah, meditation. That's something that you can't buy at the store. Not these cancers, not really flexible, not really mobile, not really free, okay? Superficial practices of meditation, superficial practice, not a priceless and profound gift, a Decepticon and a $10 Tuesday, okay? That's the problema. They're not flexible. They didn't have good form. You had to, especially if you had to correct them and give them instructions, you're not flexible, okay? So we're not using you, okay? We're not using you. We're not having sex with you. We don't care what kind of slow motion edit you put on a video. That's still not going to make me fuck you. So let's wrap, friends. You know, what is your signature energy? Because, you know, they see that your signature energy, they're like, oh, we see all these rewards now, but we have to address the past state of existence where you were betrayed by these cancers or betrayed by these superficial people that escaped their responsibility and tried to compete for your actions, right? And you were just there, you know, free and loving, delighting and giving them instruction, okay? Delighting and helping them because they clearly could not meditate. They're clearly not flexible. If your lines are not straight, you're not flexible, okay? They actually are people that get left behind in life. You know, they see that this is the deserved reward and purpose, is that you ended their practice. You ended their tour. Okay? They're done for being deceptive. And you are here with the deserved reward and purpose. The privilege of citizenship is what I'm hearing. Some of these people are getting caught for crimes, and some of them are going to prison. Some of them are, you know, some of them literally are losing fundamental citizenships. Okay, citizen right, losing fundamental privileges. They were not the profound price. They just get disillusioned and dismantled as something superficial. Okay, they were totally unjust people, and I think that you know, when people learned that they tried to exploit you when you didn't have enough to move forward in your life, people are not gonna like that, friend. Okay, I'm just gonna let y'all know right now. They see that these people were escaping their responsibilities to be superficial in some type of way, okay? That they were angry, and not just superficial, but angry and aggressive, violating, especially if they're going to prison or getting caught for a crime, you know? They were totally unfair. Okay, so this is a big part of your signature, friends. So let's wrap. Let's see what, you know, let's see what the tarot have. You know, something where they became obsessed with your hands, your nails, your extremities, and the way that you shop, and then turn around and say, oh, that person, some of them, if they're new, they're saying that, like, that person always knew. They're like, oh, this person deserves to shop now. They deserve to have their nails done. They deserve this position, right? But some of them in the past, if you had this capability in the past, you know, some of them, they just were superficial and projected onto your home and your possessions and resources, and those were all, you know, hard-earned achievements through your merit. And so it's always been that case, Fran. And so they're done as the losers that we don't find a gift, that we truly don't find them to be a gift. Okay, you know, you're not really flexible, and you're not really a good pole dancer. You're not really a good yoga teacher. You don't really know the laws of the spirituality. You don't really serve us with a free and loving heart. You know, you don't really serve us with a free and loving heart. You've actually done something deceptive. You're actually teaching us the wrong thing. You're actually corrupt teachers, corrupt politicians, corrupt leaders, corrupt authorities. Okay, you're actually corrupt. That's the problem. You're not actually empowered. You actually don't have a sensibility. You actually don't have a financial capability. You actually don't have the money, for one. And some of them, if they see that they were targeting you for a body type in this meditation practice, like yoga or something like that, they will know that these people were not here to help people, that they were projecting onto people's body types while pretending to be a teacher, pretending to help, pretending to be nurturing, pretending to be serving. They weren't free and loving. They weren't the profound, priceless gift you were. And you deserve everything that you have now, because this good karma came back to you tenfold. Because something's ending for them while it's just beginning for you. Where you didn't have what you needed in the past, but now you do. That's the signature. That's the signature, okay? XOXO, broke black girl. Alive and well. Because you followed your intuition to protect yourself, even when you didn't have enough. And everything, guided steps, lead to real outcomes, real love, real desire, real passion, purpose. Your signature energy is like an amazing strategy, friends. Like, this is an amazing strategy. Your intuition was strategic as hell. And you might not even know that you were doing certain things, but you were divinely protected, and people see that this was meant for you all along, okay? Because of your big, free, and loving heart, right? You were met with something superficial, and you learned that not everybody has the same soul as you, okay? Deserve reward and purpose, according to ChatGPT. Lots of rewards with ChatGPT, actually. LOL. So let's get into, let's wrap with the tarot, friends. What's your signature energy? Yeah, the Four Wands. LOL, yes. LOL, yes, y'all. The Four Wands energy. You're hot, for one. The spiritual, like, the way that you are now. Some of you guys are very bossed up now. They see you shopping till you drop. They see your nails flossed out. Some of y'all, your feet are done. And this is all the reward. They're saying, like, this is, like, they're having so much fun with you. Because they see that this is all the reward for the period where you didn't have anything. So they know that you're not superficial. So this is actually really beautiful. These are people who find that stability, that harmony, that the prosperity, and delighting in the good things in life, not indulging at their expense, or not someone that is superficial, clout chaser, or fame hungry person that, just needs to buy more clothes off of Amazon. Like, as soon as they see your outfit, they on Amazon Prime trying to shop it up, chasing your actions. It's like, that's really superficial and lame, actually. Okay. We don't hang out with no lames that don't have their own clothes and identity. So next, LOL, y'all, it's like something where you and your friends are cracking up at these people. Like, and I also feel like this is like, your past. These are people who know your past. So if they give you D if they're like romantically involved with you, they know your past, they know where you came from, friend, and y'all just have so much stability and harmony after, after battling something superficial, right? And so it was really beautiful. You might get triggered, but I think that you definitely have that, you definitely have that harmony and stability. I think that these were people that were trying to be in a versus, they were trying to be in a competition, and you and your, it's like your signature energy, or people who are around your signature energy, I guess, it's like something where you read somebody like a book and they start cracking up. It's like I don't know. It's like we're not valuing the superficial, because that's not entertaining, friend. Like, superficial is boring, and if these people try to compete with you, friend, your friends are like, no, they cannot compete with you. Like, something where they tried to compete by doing something superficial, and their face card got declined, still the body got declined, still the body was not chose, friend. It's like something, they tried to do something superficial. They thought that you were not going to be chose because you didn't have enough of what you needed, and some of y'all, they see that you got what you need now. A lot of y'all have transformed, and now you bossed up and very successful, especially if you're here from Power 1. Y'all, there's so much fun, stability, and harmony in your house and in your community, and you guys are very secure within yourself after, like, going through this process, right? There literally was, some of you guys literally had to escape something superficial, or you had to force yourself to be one with yourself. You had to force yourself to sit still. You had to force yourself through your meditation practice. Some of you guys, you did not give yourself rewards until you achieved something, and like maybe for yoga, right? Some of you guys, you had some kind of you had some kind of goal in your mind, and they see that you could have had problems meeting your goals because you didn't have enough of what you needed, and they see that you still met that goal, friend. They see that you still move forward with life. And they see that you deserve this after fulfilling your purpose. Your purpose was to secure yourself or develop your business before you develop your lifestyle. Your purpose was to sit in your meditation practice, to stop escaping your meditation. You did that, and now you have all the material abundance you want, probably, or you're getting into alignment with that. For sure. Group 3, we have the Ace of Wands. Yeah, some of you, this is like a romantic partner that's seeing this is their signature energy with you, okay? But for others, your community and your friends, they love you because they see and they find so much value in that, especially if they struggle with something superficial. They're like, you know what? They're like, you know what? I wasn't thinking about that, but me too, friend. Some of them struggle with scarcity trauma too. Some of them struggle with not having enough too. And they see that they cannot be mad at you for having nice things now, especially if you're shopping, like you shopping till you drop now. Some of you guys, you really waited to develop yourself before indulging in these material things. You reward yourself for achieving purpose, not just chasing someone's actions, dance, and their look. That's superficial. And we all, a lot of us in this pile agree, with the Two of Cups, they share these values with you, okay? They commit spiritually with you. They love to hear about your feelings, about stuff, superficial stuff, because it helps liberate them as well. Superficiality is burdensome as hell, friends, okay? So I think that's your signature energy, and you're very loved in this pile. They're like, you followed your intuition, and you was right, friend. And so that's like really a gag in this situation too. Like, it's a gag about something superficial that didn't work. LOL. So that's really funny. They were like, dang. Some of you guys, your signature energy is your meditation, yoga. Especially if you're especially if you're like my core power girls, my Kona yoga girls, my pink Pilates princess. Some of you guys, you grew a social media account, became really popular and wealthy on social media, and they see that you were not chasing those trendy luxury items. You waited and rewarded yourself when the time was right. Some of these people took this journey with you, right? They meditated with you, friend. They grew the hair with you. They were right by your side the whole time, okay? Helping you, like you're really surrounded by good people now. After, like, your signature energy is like, oh, you're surrounded by these good these good people now that share your values after dealing with these superficial Decepticons that hurt your feelings, okay? Betrayed you, abandoned you, escaped their responsibility, okay? They love you, okay? This is so fun. You know, a lot of people love you for not doing something superficial. You really have liberated so many people in that way, okay? You don't even know. And they see, you know, that they celebrate you and you deserve rewards, right? They're like, you're sitting there with all those bags and shopping and you don't even know what to do with it, friend. You're dealing with all that stuff and you don't even know what to do with that. And so, you know, these are people who definitely answer that call with you, and that's a really beautiful. These are beautiful relationships to have. They say we don't meditate too, friends, so we don't get too crazy. Okay, we get too crazy. Nine of Wands. That definitely feels like a romantic relationship. Some petty gossip of superficialities. With the Page of Swords reverse, we have the Four of Pentacles, and then we have the Two of Swords reverse. You know, I think that your signature energy is you rejecting these superficial people, and you realize that they were deceptive, betraying, and these were painful. They said that hurt your feelings. They said you can't believe that, you know, they were so superficial or so negative when you were just there serving with a free and loving heart. Like, this is a big part of your signature energy, but we've since rejected those superficial idiots, and we see that, you know, a lot of us in the signature energy see that a lot of you serve. Your purpose is to protect the little people or protect people who don't have enough. So there's a lot of harmony and stability around your rewards, okay? Don't feel bad for shopping and rewarding yourself. You deserve it, friend. I love you, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Hi, group 4. Welcome to your selection. You chose LaKelly 47 Mystery. I love LaKelly's music. LaKelly is definitely in the Crown Chakra playlist. So if you do not know me, I'm Renaissance. Check out the Renaissance Bespoke Crown Chakra playlist down below. The link is down below. Check it out. Check our music out, friend. Check it out. And I listed some of our key albums in the comments. So let's get into your selection, friends. What is your signature energy? You guys, some of you guys, you guys have started making friends, and this is really, really beautiful. And I think that some of you, you know, you are approaching carefully and cautiously, because you're aware of certain things that make people defensive. I think that you guys in this pile, there's a highlight around your tendency to intimidate people, and I think that you definitely threaten people, you intimidate people, you just from your physical appearance. And I think that some of you guys you have blocks, and you might wear them in a bun, sometimes on top of your head. Some of you guys wear your hair is in a bun, and it's like you have a sheet mask on. Some of you guys, you have a sheet mask on or a face mask on. But this is not just about, like, this is also about your inner self is mysterious to people. And I think that you keep yourself private, especially for, you know, because a lot of what you might share might have the tendency to intimidate people, okay? So people definitely see, I mean, some of you guys, I'm hearing like, this could be like a masculine, I'm getting like a masculine with locks. You can be like short height, average height, like 5'7"-ish, and you could like, something, I'm getting like someone in a uniform. Someone could be wearing a uniform where maybe you're wearing a work uniform, but it's something about when you have to make eye contact with people, you're very strategic. People can tell that you spend a lot of time alone or that you're very quiet, but I think that they become defensive towards you about something, okay? So because they can see a masculine influence on you, right? I don't know, something where they, especially if your hair, something about your hair, if your hair is done, if your hair is locked, they feel like locks are a very masculine hairstyle or something like that, or they feel like your locks reflect, like maybe you and your partner both have locks, or that maybe your partner has locks or you have locks, something where someone has some locks, okay? I love locks. But I think that like some of them, they see like you in your natural state, and they see that like your physical appearance is something that you don't hide or that you're not ashamed of. It's something that you keep, that what you keep private and what you leave people, what makes people defensive is that all they get is this raw, uncut, natural, bare face, hair up in a ponytail, skin down to your bare britches kind of energy from you. But what is a mystery to them is your inner life, right? They can tell everything that they need to know from your physical appearance. There's no projecting onto your physical appearance in this matter. You might even tell people, hey, I have plastic surgery. Oh, hey, it's a wig. Oh, hey, this shawl right here, I got it for $3.99. That, if they are curious about your physical appearance, I think that that's something that's very apparent to them, okay? And so what's a mystery is your inner world. So if they get defensive about something, it's just based on your physical appearance, okay? LOL. So it's a very transformative moment, right? And what's highlighted is your tendency to intimidate people just because of your physical appearance, okay? Especially, wearing natural or afro kinky hair. That's really offensive to people. And it's really intimidating to people because, yeah, your crown is protected, friend. There's no projecting onto your wig, or your hair at all, because you're there showing up fully empowered in your natural state. It's something really beautiful about that, friends, okay? So, they can't project onto your physical appearance, and it makes them really defensive because everything they need to know about something superficial is right in their face. So that's really beautiful. So let's keep going, friends. What is your signature energy, group 4? Okay, you definitely, they definitely feel like they can't really pin down your signature energy. With the 5th house, I think you also come, like, I think that could be also, like, what I was getting, like, you can also come across as very innocent and childlike, but it's like, with the 5th house, with the trust of a child, you are there just showing up, and I think that you act very childlike, and it makes people, if they do have some hidden motivation towards you or some negative reason for being attracted to you, then they feel really guilty for doing it because you're so like childlike or innocent and so pure, right? It's like they could feel so guilty for trying to for having a hidden motivation towards you because they're like, oh my god, that's basically like harming a child, okay? And I also feel like your reaction to whatever projection that they have is super dramatic. Like, you see how it says do it dramatically? I think that's so it's like hilarious because that means like you're really totally in control of a situation, or you're coming to the situation totally aware of what about you makes other people intimidating or threatened, or you're already aware of the conventional stereotypes and projections that they might have, like, and you keep that a secret, especially when you act dramatically or respond to their conventional response to you, right? These feel like a lot of strangers as well. Like, it's like something where it's like shocking. You're shocking them, okay? And you're like, I understand that it might be shocking to you, and you keep it a mystery. You don't let them know that you know that they're shocked by something, okay? Some of you guys are just having fun, but some of this is, intimate relationships like romance, or you make art, and so you guys are very private as well about like the art that you create and your artistic life. People project a lot onto that, okay? We have the tree. Yeah, your signature energy is being the center of attention. Like, and you respond dramatically to people's like investment in you. I think that they become immediately invested in you, and you respond like thank you, or like I'm very flattered, or you kind of just like something about it does too much for you, okay? I think of like something about their reactions to you, like how they're shocked into a transformation upon seeing you. It's like it's doing too much. You know what I'm saying? Like it is doing too much for me personally. Not everybody's cup of tea, but definitely a detox green tea, okay, from Whole Foods, LOL. So this tree energy is like you're the tree. You're the emotional response that everyone is surrounded around. Like, it's like you are the center of attention, and you do it. And I think that you enter this space like, okay, I'll just come into this situation and hope for the best. Let's just take a leap of faith, right? And then, you know, because some of you guys, you're with like your father. Some of you guys are with your father, or like I said, there's the influence of a father around you. There's a strong masculine influence, and they know that they are like leadership, okay? And so you trust with like the trust of a child. You trust with like the, like, and have the like naive or like not even fully aware. Some of you guys are aware, but some of you guys are not fully aware of of a potential scare in this environment, I feel like, okay? And so I think that when you do realize that what gives rise to this tree, what gives rise to this emotional response, behavior, what, you know, where, I'm just like something where there's a peak performance, a peak response, a peak or heightened emotion in a situation. And I think that it all involves you, but I think it kind of scares you because you think it's kind of too much, you know. So the reactions, and I think that like what people learn is that like you're there with your father, or you're there with the protective male influence, and that there's a lot of there could be a lot of trust there, or there is like you're protected in a way also, you know? So and so you're just there flossed out like a child, like something, like you're just there acting like a child, but there's like potential danger, okay? Something, there's a potential for someone to abuse their power, okay? But some of you guys are at school, and so, you know, schools are usually safe, really, really safe, okay? But some of you learn that there's like a shadow attachment or a scary, obsessed person in the environment, and this gives rise to a lot of this, you know, a lot of these emotions, and how you caused all of this. You're the tree, friend, and it's like dramatic. You know, something dramatic happens, and it's not your fault. It's like someone's response of you, or someone's like, I'm hearing that you're just there learning, or just like at peace, and someone's not at peace, friend. And I think that this is a signature energy that you could have, where someone, you know, becomes entangled, okay, and it becomes like there's a lot of learning to do for your safety and security, and you're there with your father, learning with your father how to, like, something where you're learning or doing something, maybe like some of you guys went to work with your father, or you're doing something there. Even if you're not with them, with your father, they can just like feel the masculine influence around you. These feel like strangers that like give this signature, that are like receiving this signature energy, because like they can feel that masculine support, logic, structure, and support behind, you know, how you show up so physically secure, and how you show up and like engage with the outer world, especially like around the 10th house, like your career, your public life, your job. You might even be at work. Like I said, some of you guys are in uniform, and some of you deck your uniform out in some type of way. Some of you guys do. You are anonymous online. Okay, there's a faceless account, and some of you guys, you have like a different aesthetics, or you have like signature styles, or like digital representations that let people know that it's you, okay? And so that's really beautiful, and a lot of this involves a romance, and I think that's why it can become scary, because someone in an environment, like, it's not so much as the father energy, but the romantic partner is also like that masculine energy, or the father of your kids, and you're there with the, you know, trusting them to be your source of power while you learn in this environment, okay? And then you learn that someone was chasing security, and it scares you guys, or something like that, okay? So and I think that you have a dramatic reaction, and this gives rise to like the power of your love in a way, I think. Yeah, let love enter, right? This gives power to love. Some of you guys, you're just like some of you guys are like solo, and you haven't really, you're very royal, and people are just around you learning from your royal creations, or your royal ass digital creation. Some of you guys make music, especially if you make like electronic music, or you make music that everyone would love, not just for a particular, you know, like just not just for your cultural group, but you make music that to share with the world. And like some of you guys are royal as fuck, internationally known for your talent, skills, and gifts, and your art or something like that. And so when you are in a romance, it is especially dangerous, okay? Because people hate to see you having fun and being in love. And that's really, really sad, but that's the fact of our reality. And I think that you guys have been learning about the safety and security issue from like your father or from your masculine influences, and they love you, like they love you down, friend. And I think that you let this love enter because they have so much fun with you, and you guys, they bring so much joy and spontaneity within your life. And so when you guys run into this safety and security issue, it gives rise to a lot of emotions, okay? It helps you learn what's an abusive power, what you should trust and what you shouldn't trust. You guys are like learning from your masculine influence on like how to defend yourself a lot of the times. And they see, and even if you're not with like your father or your man or your friends or whatever, it just feels like you wearing booty shorts because you're paper long, friend, like or like, I don't know, something where you just like, you know, you're not scared, friend. You're just walking around like you could be in a dangerous situation and you're like, I'm here making my art, or I'm here doing something peacefully, and I do not expect to be, I'm going to trust like a child that you will not disturb me or be, you know, a safety threat, lol. You know, I'm going to trust that you're going to let the love enter as you see me here learning like a child. Like, it's something where they feel very guilty if they have a hidden motivation for coming around you. Like something, y'all, like it could be a dangerous situation or real hazards around you with these booty shorts on, and you just don't trust like a child and walk around like, I'm here making my creations, you should not be bothering me. You know what I'm saying? Like, let love enter, friends, lol. And I think that in your romantic relationship, there's like a romantic signature here as well, where you let love in and you trust, and you do receive that logic, structure, and support. You learn, right? And there's a lot of power of your love with these masculine influences, and people can see that even when your masculine influences are not around, okay? And that could be really scary because that means people become obsessed with that physical appearance or something, where you're learning about this, you know, you're like a child, but you could have this, you know, tendency to intimidate. And some of these children are big, y'all. They're big, mature, and advanced. So, you know, I can see why some of you, if you're like children or you're still like in your youth, how you could be intimidating, because the children are very advanced, and we like that because we, you know, we want them to read and write and go to school, right? We want them to learn, right? And every generation will be better than the one before. So there's no competing with your house and your family. You guys are there, you know, with the trust of a child, learning from your elders, perhaps. Some of you guys are learning from your romantic partner, or you like letting this person, your signature energy could surround letting, you know, romance into your life, and you getting a power from that love. And I think that a part of you guys, especially if you make art, you keep a big part of that power a secret. A lot of you guys keep that a mystery. You keep a big parts of your life a mystery. Some of you guys have learned not to trust so naively, or so, you know, just so readily. You've learned to be more discerning, especially you learn that you're, you know, especially as you mature and grow older as a child. You know, you're no longer a child. You're growing into your, you know, your final form, okay? And that is intimidating as hell to some people, okay? Even your family and parents could be like, oh, you grew so big and tall, Blue, you know, Blue Ivy, LOL, you grew so big and tall. I can't believe you looking so grown, like, you know? So, you know, I think that, like, a lot of, something could involve gambling and risk. That could be a big part of your signature as well. But I think that you take risk, or you take gambles, or you take leaps of faith to go have fun and romance, and you make art. You do it for art. And I think that whatever conflict may break down, or whatever you create, it's like you do it dramatically, and so you have the signature for that. And what, like, well, that's funny that this card is on the bottom of the deck, because this is the card that I was referring to this whole video, and it's blue, just like this blue image too. And I think that some of you guys, you might be Democrats, y'all might wear a lot of blue, but you guys are very cool. I'm gonna say Democrats are not like, Democrats are more calm, cool, and collected, where, you know, my red team is passionate passionate, fiery, and just like open-hearted and raw, right? And you know, we have been talking about getting rid of the party system altogether, and that would be a big change in our government. But we don't want to be divisive. But I think that, like, anyways, going back to this card, like, it's like something where Democrats are intimidating low key, because, like, you know, it's so, like, it's easy to be like, I don't know what to say. We're not gonna get into that, but I just, like, for example, LOL. You know, it could be really intimidating. Something about you could be really intimidating. Your calm, cool, and collected demeanor means that you were collected by a masculine friend. They drew you a bad friend. They made you royal, friend. These masculines, they, especially if you got a big old bun of hair on top of your head, long locks, they know that, you know, you could have a man, right? And they become intimidated. Some people become intimidated when they see your hair. Okay. And I think that, you know, this help you confront your own inner fears and help force people into a transformation. Because I keep looking at this like smoky quartz, like it forces people into a transformation to confront their inner fear. Because what about your physical appearance is making them scared? Like, you sitting there not doing anything threatening is making people defensive as hell. Like, that's really scary as well for you. Because, like, why are you around like imagining things? Why are you around in fear about someone that's just showing up? You know what I'm saying? Like, especially because, like, going back to the beginning of the reading, you're there really, you know, you're a nice, smart, boundary child, and you apply your learning, okay? And to watch you mature over the years has been beautiful. Some of you read a lot of books, or you've been a very smart, advanced child, and you've grown up making art, having fun, and having romance. That's not like other people, okay? That's not, I don't know, it's like something where that's not, you know, some of your house is a royal, friend, okay? Especially if you're social media influencers, you value your social media influencing platform, value what you have created, the fun that you have made, value your exchanges, value your experiences, value your possessions, value everything that you have, even when you were a child, okay? Because you can be like me and lose everything you've had since you were a child because you were irresponsible, right? So a lot of you guys, you show up and you're like, some of you guys have been dealing with this issue since you were a child, where you are intimidating to people as a child, right? Something where you might have gotten bullied, or you might have gotten jumped on by a group of people. You guys have been really the center of someone's fear, like where they feel like they need to physically attack. So this could be the scary and dangerous situation that you're in, where someone attacks, you know, safety and security, or these could be other children that are really intimidated by you because you're like around learning, okay? And you're just like really private about what you're learning as well, or you don't share everything about yourself. Maybe this is just like a part of this has just been your natural demeanor. But I think that you have learned over the years, especially maturing into your final form. Maybe you even did get plastic surgery, where your hair is this is like your crown head, like your mommy hair, your wifey hair, right? And a lot of them have, you know, they don't have that yet, and they see that you've had this privilege of fun, romance, and art, right? So, you know, your signature energy, especially to a stranger, could be really intimidating. And so yeah, because they're addicts. Like it's like something where you confront, like they're like addictions. Like you highlight their addictions that are bullying them, and it becomes apparent as hell that it's not anything that you're doing, and that it's all their problem. Okay, some of you guys, you've dated a lot of addicts as well, and you guys have made a lot of art about your addicts. Maybe they have a gambling addiction, or some other kind of addiction, where they invest poorly. So their behavior is, you know, they have to confront their addictive behavior. They can't blame you for just sitting there. Not even, some of you guys, you've learned not to say anything, right? To let people show their inner fear that bully them. Let people show their addictive behavior. That let it become apparent that that it's a one-sided fascination, that they're having fun and they're mad about something, right? Some of you, they feel really guilty for having this addictive behavior towards you, and they're like as a child or something like that, okay? Or underdeveloped in a way. So, you know, a part of you guys, you know, they just become obsessed with your masculine influence in your hair, like especially if you have locks. Like, some of it is just beautiful to see. Like, you know, I catch myself just looking at, you know, I'm not trying to look mean when you turn around, Fran, but I could just be sitting there looking at the way it's styled up in the bun, and I'm just like looking at it, like, you know, I'm like, it's nice to look at. But I think that, like, some of, you know, not everybody's looking innocently and purely like that, friend. And so you can be in a dangerous situation, and you're just like a child still learning how to defend yourself, or learning, or doing schoolwork, making art, and they become obsessed with how you're having fun, or your romantic encounter since you were a child, right? So that's really actually burdensome and scary to have that kind of, like, you know, it feels like your childhood have been kind of ripped from you, and you've had to, like, some of you guys had to marry young, or you've been in, like, a lot of commitment since you were young, because, you know, you have to have a lot of masculine logic, structure, and support, or something like that. Okay. So it's like something where you get bagged a lot, friend. Someone get scooped, you get bagged. Someone got you at home pregnant or something like that. Got you on a commercial, got you in the artwork house, you know, got a big investment with you. And so, you know, they can tell that you have this fifth house trust and security. Okay. Trust as an inheritance, friend. For real. For real. LOL. Okay. So, you know, something about you when you show up, especially to a stranger, you know, you don't share a lot. Some of you guys don't share a lot. Okay. And like I said, some of this have been your natural demeanor since you were a child, and that has been making people defensive, because, but I think that you've learned that this is a healthy boundary as well, and it helps highlight danger. Okay. I think that you're there really indifferent. Okay, very indifferent. You see how, like, you could be like standing at a bus stop. You see, it's like an umbrella behind him, and you're just there. You know, you're like with your umbrella, with your braids done, your nice dressed up, looking nice, and this thug is sitting at the bus, and like this thug is like sitting there getting aggressive, and you're like not. You're really indifferent. You're not paying attention, and that is like highlights that they have an addiction to you. They confront their addiction. That's why the smoky quartz is like a major transformation, because they feel so guilty for having this addictive pattern or behavior towards you, and you're just there like living your life, right, having fun, and they're like, oh, whatever toxic thing that I want to make up in my head about what they're doing and how I'm relating to them is not real. It's a fascination. Okay. And you do something dramatically, like maybe you respond dramatically to let them know that this is not regular, that this is not, you know, this is not normal, or this is not healthy, you know, this is some toxic behavioral health issue. You're there indifferent, and they're there addicted, you know, they're having a very different experience. And so you are mystery. And so it's like the reason why they transform, or they're shocked, or their fundamental reality is shifted by just your physical appearance, is because you don't give them, there's no rapport. You don't give them anything to work with, and they're like, they do something, and you might do something, and it's like a dramatic response to an addictive behavior that they could be displaying. Like, this is literally people with behavioral health issues, like addicts on the street or something like that, and they feel so guilty, while you were just like, your dramatic response means you were learning in the situation, and they were there like trying to box and trying to like get aggressive or trying to do something forceful. It highlights that they're ill and sick in a way. Okay, you were just there having fun. LOL. Intuition. Yep. You show indifference. You know what you show is indifference, but you're intuitive, and that's the mystery. Is that they don't know that you know that you just rock their fucking world. You just do something dramatically to make them feel like you just make them feel like an idiot, or you have a very strategic rapport, right, where you're already ahead of the projection that you know, you've already learned about the projection that they're doing, that they're emitting, like their addictive behavior. You respond dramatically, you're like, been there, done that, but you keep that part of mystery, and you just transform them with your dramatic response, and they just have an emotional response. It'd be just so dramatic, friend. I just think it'd be doing too much. You know, it's too much, friend. Okay. It's like, ugh, like, back up. Why are you shocked by just like me being here? Like, they hate to see your physical appearance secured. Like, I think that's the big problem here. That's the superficial shit, where they have an emotional response to you having fun, you being with your partner, you being with your father, you having your hair, like, you having your hair done. Like, it'd be like, it make it clear that it's one-sided when you respond to their, you know, you are intuitive about their addictive behavior towards you. And a lot of you guys just are truly loved by you truly beloved friend, okay? And so you know that people, you already know, friend, you learned that fun, romance, and making art is a big problem for some people. It's not for everybody, and that's your free will, ho. So people be around creating a dangerous situation, you know what I'm saying, because they become unhinged, you know. Especially when you wear pink. It's like something where you show like you're very sweet, and so when they do something addictive towards you, it makes them feel disgusting and like they're ill, okay, because they are, okay. And that's the problem, you know. That's the tree, is that you caused all of this when you were just a child, because you were an aware child and they were oblivious. Even if they were adults, they're still fucking losers in life, okay. That's what I'm saying, friends. Let's go ahead and pull your tarot. Like, I think that this is a situation where you could even learn and expose about a Decepticon strategy around you, and then they feel so guilty for doing this, right? Because it just means it's like really emotional for you because it's safety, security, and also like sometimes it could be something that you're oblivious to, and I think that you still be learning about that. But I think that some of them, you know, you keep your awareness a secret, like you keep your awareness and intuition a secret, a mystery, for some of y'all. But I do think that these people do become like addicts around you, especially when they see that you, like, they're aware of your security or your safety, okay. You know, for them, they're, you know, something about you, your hair being done means, you know, you're secure, you know, something like that. So, you know, this is not, it's like, I just feel like they be doing too much, and it's like, it feels dramatic to you a lot of the times. And I think that, you know, so you meet them with something dramatic also. I think that it just draws a lot of unwanted attention towards you, really, you guys. And I think that you love your hair, and I think your hair is beautiful, but I think that, you know, something, you know, your hair, especially you guys have long locks, it just, everyone's like looking and want to like see them. It's like a spectacle, right, to see your hair. So that's weird as hell, because like why is black hair a spectacle for you? You know what I'm saying? Like, something like, stop. They really doing too much, you know, like out in the public, just seeing you, you know, with your physical appearance, friends. It just be like something to stare and look at, and it becomes like a safety issue. So, you know, like, no, you can't come to my house, you can't do this, you can't, no, you know. So you're very strategic in your communication. If you do have communication with them, you're very aware, and some of them don't know that. And your signature energy is that you learn to be aware, okay? You learn to be aware, friend, okay? Because of safety and security about your hair and your body, right? Like, back up, you roach. Like, something where they don't have an inner spirit. They be like zombies in the apocalypse, just looking for hair, skin, and nail. Like, wake up, earth to reality. Like, why are you just like obsessed with someone's physical appearance and then getting intimidated, and it becomes highlighted to you themselves? They become aware there's no falsehood you can tell yourself no more. Stop telling yourself stories. You're obsessed with someone else's hair in their life. Yeah, they're royal. Back up. Like, ugh. Like, they obsessed with y'all hair for real. Okay. The Page of Swords. Some of them start petty gossip about your hair, okay? The Three of Cups. Someone's the addict, and I just think that if this is a romantic partner, it's fizzling out between the two of you. This person needs to recover from an addiction. Some of you guys, they were addicted to fighting for authority, okay? And so this was weird, like, you know, because some of you, it was because they were trying to fight for authority because of your hair or something like that. Like, some of you guys, they try to challenge you because of your hair. Like, I don't know what's going on. They try to challenge you because of your hair, and that leaves them needing to recover from not being aware of something, okay? You know, I think that they be like, there's somebody, some of you guys look like Beyonce. You know, your face card is with Beyonce. And so you're really pretty. And so a lot of them, they become, especially people who are challenging about hair or something like that, they're envious of your face. Okay, someone has a nose ring or something like that. They're envious of your face. So somebody, you know, and someone keeps throwing emotional tantrum about you, and you're just there having fun, making art, and having a romance or something like that. Okay, I think that means that there could be a third party here. Okay, where it was someone, you know, obsessed with you. Okay, and it could be someone that compromised their integrity. So they did something because they weren't aware. Okay, something happened because somebody wasn't aware of something with the Page of Swords, and I think that just, like, when they were not aware, it's just like, I think that meant that you were just like you're not really like in a contract with them, or you're not really collaborating with them. You're not really communicative with them. You're not really, like, they were not aware enough to celebrate with you. This is like more of a shadow attachment. So your dramatic responses like helps them understand that you were always aware. And it makes them feel like a bug. Something where it made them feel like a bug, where it made them feel like, oh, you know, it made them feel disappointed about something. Like, it left them feeling disappointed about something because they were like, they were not aware that someone was envious of your face. Okay, this could be a child or somebody in the environment that have been dangerous around your safety and security because they've been envious of your body and face. And some of you guys have not been aware, or you were there with the trust of a child, but when this came into your awareness, you know, or things just started to fizzle out, you were always kind of like above the situation. They were never really like, I just think that this was something that they kind of you leave them to recover from some hardships, right, where they were not aware. And like, not having being oblivious and not having an awareness is a form, like, you do need to recover from that, and it is a form of spiritual poverty. So especially if this was in a romance, you can't, like, you're not having a reflection with a conscious lover. That's not somebody that's really on your level. Okay, some of these people, they were not your lover. Okay, some of these people were people around the relationship. They became dangerous, okay, while you guys were, you know, you guys were not aware of them. Okay, with the Fool energy, and then with the Fool energy, yeah, I think that if there was, like, something happened because someone wasn't aware, and it led to someone getting disappointed, an addict, and I don't think that this was you. You're not the one. Someone with an elephant, someone like an elephant, someone with an elephant trunk type of nose, someone has a big nose or something like that. It's like something where they were trying to challenge about hair, but someone was jealous of your face. And so when they, like, something, LOL, friends, and so, like, if your name starts with P or S, your face card is actually lethal. Okay, so when y'all cut your hair bald or something like that, or you took your wig off, maybe you locked your hair, went natural, they cannot keep challenging something about your face. Like, this is something that happened when you were a child or with a child. These are like canceled friends or something like that. It's like something where, you know, when your hair transformed, there was definitely like a betrayal, and it was because someone was trying to challenge about, like, they were a shadow attachment when you were around learning, or you weren't really aware of them, and you were just like a mystery. It was like a mystery in the environment, or it was a mystery in your house, or it was a mystery around this place, right? And it was like someone who saw the power of your love and interrupted with some spoiled, like, something with it interrupted, or they were like spoiled milk or something like that. They were expired. They're fat. Some of them, they might have breasts, but they're fat, or some of them, they, like I said, this is about their nose. And some of y'all, like I said, if you took that wig off or you cut your hair bald, your face card is actually lethal to a lot of these people out here, especially if you're from a different culture. Like, if you're from a minority group, friend, your face card is actually lethal. So be careful out here. Like, you're actually you're actually the danger, friend. And so that means that you're a royal house. Like, that means that you're black royalty, Latin royalty. That means that you're bossed up with that face card, friend. Right? So some of them, if they were trying to challenge about, like, Afro hair, kinky hair, then they definitely were not your community and friends. LOL. This is someone that, like, they could have preferred something could have preferred like Latina or something like that. Maybe you were at the club and like something where this person was actually jealous of your hair. Okay, they were actually, excuse me, they were actually jealous of your face. And so when you guys took a wig off or changed your hair, it became clear that, you know, you were the 10 of cups, you know? Yeah, so like that was wild because they needed to recover something that wasn't real. Like it was like you were like something, you might have even brought it into their awareness, like something where somebody tried to challenge about your hair. Like what you learned is that like these Latinas are actually like really jealous of your face and of course your body, right? So like a lot of y'all just enter a space with the trust of a child, and I think that some of y'all take that leap of faith. You're like, oh well, we know that you're mad about your nose card, and we know that you're mad about, you know, your stomach card, and we know that you're mad about your fucked up ass bum ass life card, but that's not my problem. Like, you know that you're like the 10 of cups, especially if you guys are here from the group 1. Your face card is actually lethal, right? In this like minority group, so they needed to recover some, right, where they were just like they were an addict or needing to, like they were having like someone was like addicted to like talking about your hair because of like they kept like projecting onto your performance. Like they keep trying to like reduce your expression, like if you by like trying to like criticize your physical appearance, and it's, you know, and it's like not accurate. So I think that like it's like not accurate. It's because like it's a result of someone's addictive behavior or an addictive negative thought pattern that they can't control, like something where they're literally like maybe you learned that they chose someone else, and it was because they were getting like they were in a power struggle. Like someone's literally addicted to having a like in a power struggle. So it's like a Latina that was like, you know, had an ugly nose or like face card declined in some type of way, or they didn't have a nice performance, they didn't have a wondrous dance. And some of you guys, something where you were wearing candy cane colors like red and white or something like that, somebody was like really envious of your face card, or like something where you could have took something where you take your hair off frame, you don't need your face card, was like literally somebody's literally jealous of your face and trying like, and like black men might project onto your hair when they're like in a power struggle. Like this is some, like if this is a romantic partner, they're literally an addict in a power struggle. Like they're addicted to struggling for power, so they might try to like hurt your self-esteem or hurt your like try to hurt your expression or try to reduce your expression or try to like, you know, like they're not really like they try to stop you from being loud, proud, and performative because like by trying to make a comment about your hair. Some of y'all went and shaved your head bald and busted wide open, and they said you are the girliest tomboy we ever seen. Okay, LOL. Like they literally become addicted to you, and you're just they're not really aware of them, and so it was like a really bad impoverishment where someone was like, you were there learning or you were there having fun, romance, and art, and someone became addicted to you, and they see that it was because of your smile and your nose, and it was because of truly their face card declined, right? It wasn't about hair, it was about your face. Okay, that's what I'm saying, friends. Let me know how that resonates. That's your signature energy, that you have a signature energy of people becoming addicted to you, and you're like not paying attention to them. And so you're the 10 of clubs. You're like the 10 of clubs, and like this is like someone who had like more Caucasian type hair, and they were like struggling for power because of like hair, and it was like your face decline. Push your hair back, shave your head bald. We'll see that at birth you declined. That's what I'm saying, friends. Since 1995. I'll see you in the next video.